Yo, where my peeps at? Who has decided to join me on this wondrous day? Well, not today. Yesterday was my birthday, not today. Darius, you baited us. You lied. You're thinking that today's your birthday? No. It was yesterday. I turned 44. So old now. Look at how old I am, guys. I have like 1 foot in the grave. What's going on? So, it's been a minute since I've done a live stream. Thank you, Maria. Thanks for that birthday wishes. So, yeah, get your booze out, guys. I'm gonna drink all of your alcohol. I got my mug of wine here that I'm sipping on. Not much of a drinker, honestly. I don't really care. I'm very thankful that that was never one of my afflictions, that I just had to be consumed by alcohol and stuff. Let's fix this here. Okay. Um, I don't know. Like when I was younger, I always preferred smoking weed to drinking alcohol. I drink occasionally. Yeah, I deserve it. Yeah. Pat on the back. Darius, you came out of hell, literally. You you searched and then you found. Ooh, ooh, mysterious. Oh, what did you search for? I don't know. I don't know. I just talk about it all the time on my fucking channel here. I don't know. Guys, nothing but the best. Nothing but the best for Darius. The cheap Carlo Rossi sangria. I love sangria. I don't like. I'm not a huge wine connoisseur, so like I don't really know anything. Like yeah, it tastes fine to me. Yeah, big like 1.5 liter bottle of sangria. Oh yeah, it's all good. Return to freedom. What's up? I'm sipping on near beer to celebrate. Yeah. Ooh, Corona. Ooh, look at this person. Ooh, beer connoisseur with the Corona. Better have some lime with it, right? If you don't have, like, I saw some people they would put like lemon instead of they don't have lime, so they put lemon. It's like, oh, you've bastardized the tradition. How could you? Evil, evil person. Don't you know that the Corona is supposed to be sipped by the beach? You know, like the commercials, and with the lime. Or how you take the tequila, you take a shot of tequila and you have to have the salt and the lime with it. I don't know. It's like a very Mexican thing, I guess. I don't know. So what's going on with you two? How are you guys doing? How are you holding up? What's going on in your neck of the woods? What's on your minds? Anyway, so so I shared it in my post. Um, like this time last year, I shared it in my post. If you haven't seen it, go open my page and go to the posts tab, and you can see I shared a few pictures. So this was like I was halfway, nah, maybe not even halfway, maybe just like a third of the way done with my road trip of redemption. Okay, I got the car, right? I didn't have a car before then. I got the car like almost specifically for this road trip. And I'm traveling, like at that point I had gone up through Seattle, down into Denver, stopped in Salt Lake, then I drove all the way across, stopped in Chicago, stayed like for a month in the Pittsburgh area, and then from Pittsburgh I drove pretty much straight through New York State, through Vermont, through New Hampshire, up into Maine. Okay. And I've always had this fascination of just like traveling down the eastern coast. I never did that. I'd never been really further east than like Indiana, I guess. And I grew up in Chicago area. Okay. So, so I'm driving like through like New Hampshire and like northern New York and Vermont and stuff, and it's just like the most gorgeous scenery. It's just nothing but these green forests as far as the eye can see, just hills just kind of like hills and like just like kind of almost mountainous in a way. Hills, rolling hills of just like nothing but these forest preserves as far like in every direction. And then you'd come across a lake, you'd come across a river, and it's just like just beautiful nature, right? And I'm like in awe of it. And then I get into Maine, it's largely the same thing. That whole upper eastern area is just like nothing but green forests, right? And then I wanted to go as far east as I possibly could, and I wanted to go and just like get some seafood and stuff. So I posted that what my birthday was, and it was the first time that I actually like in a long time that I celebrated my birthday myself. Before it was like, why would I celebrate my birth coming into this miserable fucking existence? That's how jaded I was. Why would I? It's just another day to me. I didn't care to celebrate. And like if family would like send me, birthday wishes or friends or whatever, or like people would want to get together or like do something, no. Uh-uh. No, I was too caught up in my own misery, and I didn't want people asking questions like, how's your life been? What's going on with you? No, man, I can't like let you know that. It was very personal, the hell that I was going through. Because you know what, guys? Like, it's not fun to be around depressed people. It's really not. Like, it's kind of soul sucking shit. Like you feel like you have to kind of pep them up. Like, it's incumbent upon you to like pep them up and like make them feel better because they're so miserable. And I'm spiritual, right? I've been spiritual my whole life, so I understood what was going on. I just couldn't find my way out of it. So it's like I understood that like I was spreading my misery wherever I was going. I understood that. But I just didn't know like how to stop it I didn't know how to cut it at its source, like I say, and change the trajectory of my life. And so like that day that I was in Maine, in Lubeck, Maine, and I go to like the lighthouse, and then I go and I have this wonderful lunch, and I'm seeing this like ocean like view, like whatever, like this little port, that went into the ocean. I'm just like, how amazing is this that you've been traveling? God has allowed you to travel on this road trip. You don't have nothing, man. You're broke as a fucking joke, literally. But somehow it has been made manifest for you through all of these synchronistic events and this leap of faith that you've taken. And now you're here on the other side, like literally diagonally from San Diego, diagonally the opposite end of the fucking side of the country. I'm in the most northern eastern like portion of the US. How did you end up here? What were the steps that, and I'm like looking back on my life, and I'm like, oh my God, how amazing is this day? On my 43rd birthday, that I actually like decided to do something with my life, to like go and like step out into that scary, scary world and choose an adventure, like I say, in like my spontaneous, in the moment intuitive, choosing the adventure for yourself. Yeah, like I didn't have anyone to share it with. I was just me, sharing it with myself, sharing it with God. Was with me every fucking step of the way, guys. And he still is, obviously. It is. She is with me always. And that's I kept drawing closer and closer into this communion, furthering and furthering this alignment with myself. The more I did this stuff, I was like tapping into this aspect of myself that I was very familiar with from my past, but that I had chosen to like disengage from because it was all too painful. I bought into the lies that I would feed myself. I'm like, you're nothing. You're a piece of shit. Like, what can you do? Who are you? What are you? You're nothing. Look at you. You're the biggest fucking loser. Guys, I am a loser at heart. It is me. I'm a nothing. I haven't achieved shit in my life. I haven't achieved anything. Never got the degree, was labeled mentally ill, have a felony on my record, right? Like I am like the nasty side of humanity. If you were to look at me, if somebody gave you all of like the shit that I am labeled on the level of our minds, conditioned minds, you're this, and this, I'm nothing. But then how is it possible that I'm so much more? How do I glimpse these things? How do I know these things? How do I put words to these things for you guys to understand? How is that? If I'm such a fucking loser, nothing piece of shit, then how is it possible that I have tapped into this divine? Do you see how paradoxical it is? Listening to you. Go, Maria. You listen, girl. You listen, girl. Oh, I don't know why I haven't thought of Lime next time. I'm pretty close to the beach, maybe 5 blocks. I think that counts in Mexico. Fuck yeah, girl. I got into trouble. That's like why part of why I was arrested was at the border. Like it was like at TJ San Diego border. That's why I got arrested and like had been became a felon, you know. But when I was going down there, I'd go to TJ and I would go to like the like Playa area and like into Ensenada and stuff. And like the beaches there are fucking gorgeous. And it's so nice. It's not like it's very similar climate, obviously, to San Diego, but it's not as developed. It's not as rich. There's not as much money. It's very simple, very plain, very perfect right there on the coast in Mexico, you know? I appreciate that about the Mexican people, that they're like they're poor relatively, right, to the US as a nation, but they're still very humble and so fucking hardworking and about their family. You know, they like the Mexican people are amazing. I have nothing but amazing feelings towards Mexicans, you know. And like when I was in jail, it was nothing but Hispanics. Like 80% of the jail where I was in San Diego was Hispanic people. And I was like a paisa, you know what I mean? Like I speak Spanish. Like I took 6, 7 years of it in school. I speak it not fluently or anything anymore, but like I can get by. I can speak some Spanish if I need to, and it comes back the more I use it, obviously. But I'm hanging out with these Mexicans in jail, and they love me. They're like, "Hey, Cameo," you know. They called me the camel, right? I had a bunkie. His name was Jose. Okay, and me and Jose got close. And this is kind of when I didn't weigh as much. I was thinner. I was maybe like in like I don't know 180, 190, 200, somewhere around there. That's how much I weighed. I was still a little chubby, but I wasn't really fat. But with Jose, we would do burpees every day. Like it's like a routine that they have in jail, right? Like where you do burpees and push-ups and like calisthenic weights and shit like that, right? So one day I'm like talking with Jose, my bunkie. Okay, like I was on the bottom bunk and he was in the top bunk or whatever. That's like how we had our sleeping arrangements. But Jose's like, bro, you know you're a camel, right? I'm like, what the fuck do you mean I'm a camel? He's like, bro, he's like, because I think he was from Bakersfield or somewhere like, you know, more northern into like the valley kind of by LA further east, you know, or between San Diego, somewhere like he was somewhere from there. And he would work like when he did work, he was like out in the agricultural fields and he was like picking different stuff. He's like, whenever I go into town, whenever I go like in like to like a liquor store or whatever, it's always these fucking camels, these Arabs, you know, and I would call them camels. So because I'm like half Persian and I kind of look like I'm Middle Eastern or whatever, he's like, you're a fucking camel. And it stuck with me. And then and then everyone that was on our floor would call me camel. And all the Hispanics were like, hey, Cameo, ¿cómo está? You know, like they're like talking to me and stuff. Hey, paisa, ¿cómo está Cameo? Hey, Cameo, what's up? Right. So like I adopted that as like an avatar. That's why the camel is the image. I'm on the fucking camel. Like it's me. If you guys are wondering why I have, and then the background of it being pink and blue and you know like purplish, right? That has a significance for me too, because when I had my awakening, and if you guys go watch my awakening story, how I go to the patio door and I look up, that sky is what the sky looked like, and that was the portal into my awakening. I'm like, oh, and so it's like when I saw that picture, I'm like, that has to be the picture that I choose. It was perfect. The camel, that's me. That's in the background, like in the forefront, and in the background is like the sky that I saw when I had my awakening. It's so fucking perfect how God lays these things out for us, you know. What's up, Darius? Great story. You're a camel, LOL. That dude was funny. He was hilarious, man. He was hilarious, Jose. He was shorter. He's like a shorter, stocky guy. He's like maybe 5'4", 5'5". But we would grind out burpees, guys. I went into jail maybe like 20, 30 pounds overweight. I came out of jail fit as fuck, man. Like a machine. We were pumping out hundreds of burpees a day. And I have like an affinity towards the burpee now, guys. Like, and that's why I mentioned, and I think in one of my live streams, there's this guy. He's called Busy Dad Training, and he because he was busy now with like his teaching profession, and that he had a kid that was born and he was juggling a lot of stuff. He's like, I don't have a lot of time to work out. So what he did, he developed this plan where he only does burpees basically, besides some pull-ups and stuff in the morning. He only does burpees, 20 minutes each session, 4 sessions a week, 80 minutes total and he is in mint physical condition. He's like, dude, my resting heart rate is like in 50 heartbeats per minute, like that. He's like, I have the same level of conditioning that an elite athlete has just by doing burpees 80 minutes a week. And he does the 6 count burpees and he does the Navy SEAL burpees, and he alternates, and they build up your body in a certain way, right? Like the Navy SEAL addresses more your abs and like it's very like shoulders and like your pecs. And then the 6 count is just your more traditional, you drop down, you do one push-up, and then you come back up, and that's more for your conditioning side. Okay. And then I was like, bro, like that's the truth, man. Like that's some hard, that's like it for me. When I think of the burpee, it's almost like yoga in motion. You know what I mean? And you can center yourself through the burpees that you're doing, and it becomes like this routine, um, like prayerful, meditative, physical act, like you're doing in yoga, but it's more in motion. You're not holding poses. You're building yourself up, and you're building your heart, right? So then he's like, so this busy training guy, he's like, I wouldn't run, I wouldn't do anything, I wouldn't go. But then like people would ask me, hey, let's go hiking. People that are fit, or let's go for a jog, and then I'd join them, and I'd be like outpacing them, and like it wouldn't even be phasing me. So if you guys are interested in like burpees and wanting to better yourselves physically, I can't do it yet. I'm too heavy. Like I'm still like close to 300 pounds, right? Like maybe 290. Once I get maybe closer to like 220, 230, I can start doing it, because I'm just too heavy, guys. I'm too fat to do push-ups. It's like, could you picture me trying, just like all this lard ass trying to get down on the ground? And fucking silly. Interesting story about Mexico. Yeah. Guys, I have traumatic shit that happened in Mexico, man. Not in Mexico, at the border. And then and then after I got out of jail, I thought my life was over. So this was end of 2013. I was arrested on Valentine's Day of 2013. Okay. 2012, late 2012, I told you guys a story about how my grandpa visited me in my sleep when he passed. That was the end. And that led me into like this awakening that turned into a mania, that turned into like not hypomania, into a mania, that I was doing batshit fucking behaviors. I was out of balance. And at the time I was living in San Diego, and I'm like, oh man, like my lease is coming up. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? I don't have a job. I don't have money. Right. So my buddy's like, hey, let's go to Mexico. Let's go shoot the shit down there. So I meet these Mexicans, and they're like, hey, why don't you like come work for us? You're a gringo, you speak English, but you also speak Spanish. And then like, this is TJ, right? This is Tijuana, and there's like a whole red light district area down there where like, they have like this strip of like not even bordellos. It's just like dance girls that dance and shit like that, and then like a lot of white people, and like not white people, but just Americans in general, go down there for the weekend and they party it up, right? So they're like, why don't you come work for us? You could work at a bar, you could work at whatever. And so guys, at this point, I am mentally compromised. Okay. My discernment is off. So I very willingly trust these guys. And guess what? These guys are part of the cartel, and I don't realize it. I'm thinking they're just like some average Mexican Joes that want that want to help me out. Oh, from the goodness of their heart. I'm so compromised. I can't see. Guys, now in the state that I'm in, I can anticipate your intention. I see through you, like I say, right? I couldn't see through them. I couldn't see where they were coming from and what they wanted from me. So for 2 weeks, I'm going back and forth between San Diego, and I'm thinking that they're going to put me up and I'm going to work for them. So one day when I'm in Mexico, they give me a car, okay? Some like little beat up Chevy Cavalier. They give me a car, and they're like, hey man, we're going to give you this car so you can go up to San Diego and pick up the rest of your stuff and then bring it back down, and then you can live down here, right? We're going to put you up in this hotel. I'm like, okay, cool. So guess what, if anybody can guess what happened when I drove the car, right? I'm driving and it's early in the morning. It's probably like 6 or 7 a.m. Right? I'm like half awake. Yeah. Drugs in the car, yeah. And you know what? I'm lucky that it wasn't heroin or crack or coke or meth, or else I might even still be locked up today. I might have gotten a 10 or 15 or 20-year sentence. I'm lucky it was only 20, 25 kilos of weed. And so I didn't know that they had planted the weed in the car. So I'm driving, I'm a fucking mule. I'm one of the guys that this happened. This is very common that they snare someone in with a story, then they have you drive the car. Some people do it willingly, some people do it unknowingly. I didn't know. They're pulling me over and the dogs are coming up and sniffing the car and I have no clue what's going on. I'm thinking I'm just going to freaking grab my stuff and bring it back. In the panels, in the door panels, and like within the car, this beat up piece of shit fucking Chevy Cavalier, they've stored 25 kilos of weed. And listen to this: I get arrested. I get arrested, and it's a federal crime because I'm caught at the border, right? And now I am an international drug smuggler. Do you guys understand how heavy this shit is? It is a federal crime. I can't even get it expunged through the state. I have to go get a presidential pardon because it's a federal crime. And do you know how infinitely rare a presidential pardon is? So now I'm stuck with this on my record. Okay. So it's basically the lowest federal crime you can do. They wanted to give me like 3 months time served. I ended up staying in jail for 6.5 months because the system was so backed up. I couldn't even get in front of a judge before 6 months. So what I'm basically waiting for my appearance to get sentenced. And throughout that whole time, it's basically just time served. And I had like the shittiest lawyer, right? And I'm thinking to myself, and guys, the whole time I'm debating it very heavily. Do I take this to trial or not? If I take it to trial and I lose, I'm looking at 3 to 5 years. They're going to punish you for making yourself go to trial and have them sit and listen to your shit. They wanted you to take the deal. And honestly, I was in a mental place where I just wanted to take the deal and get out. I didn't want to stay longer than I had to. I'm like, fine, the probability of me getting convicted is high. Okay. But what stuck with me when I went through that whole process was when I was reading the actual fine print and I'm about to sign it off. The main complicit thing that I'm agreeing to by signing the deal, the plea deal, is there's a section that says that you knowingly and intentionally tried to bring the drugs in, like that you tried to traffic the drugs in. And I didn't knowingly and intentionally do that. So in a sense, I wasn't guilty. But how do you prove that? Now I have to get up on the stand and then I have to just tell them the story, and whether they're gonna believe it or not is up to them. They have the evidence. It's like you're caught at the border and you have all this weed in the car. So which one's gonna be more likely? They're gonna convict me or they're gonna let me go. So I took the deal and I didn't want to risk it. So I get out of jail and I'm like, oh great, my life is over. And up until then, guys, I was more of a white collar worker. I would work. I was in offices. I had an accounting background, right? I was doing accounts payable, accounts receivable, that different kind of shit, right? And so that's what I did mostly for work. Well, I hadn't done that for a few years, because I was jobless when I was in San Diego, and part of the reason I went into Mexico is because I was jobless. If I had a job, I would never have gone to Mexico to begin with. But this was all divinely orchestrated, whether you guys believe it or not. All of this shit had to happen that way. It's so fucking bizarre. I went through so much shit. Okay, so I get out of jail. This is, like I said, end of 2013. So from February until basically September of 2013, I'm in jail. And I'm not prison. They never sent me to prison. I was basically in the detention centers where they keep the people before they go for trial, before they go for, the judgment, before you, whatever, right? So I'm with, like I said, lots of Mexicans. We're all shooting the shit, having a good time, but it wasn't always good times, guys. And while I'm going through this, I'm also mentally fucking ill. So I'm having some traumatic fucking shit going down while I'm in jail. Miraculous stories and also traumatic, dissociating, psychotic break stories that I have. Crazy shit. Okay. So I got out of jail and I'm like, oh my God, my life is over. My life is over. The life as you knew it, Darius, is over. You can't travel like you want, like you used to. I used to go to Greece and go to like, wherever I wanted to go. I could travel abroad, right? Well, that's out the window now. I'm an international fucking drug smuggler, guys. Are they gonna fuck with me every time I come back in? Are they even gonna let me land in Greece or any country? I can't go to Canada. Canada doesn't allow felons. Australia, England, they don't allow felons, right? Unless it's been enough time has elapsed, maybe. Maybe. And the only way you're going to remove that from your record is if you get a presidential pardon. I'm like, oh, I'm doubly fucked. So, I get out of jail and I don't have anything. I guess it doesn't bother me at that point that like I'm homeless and I don't have anywhere to go and I don't have money because I've done up until then I had been homeless multiple times. So that part of it doesn't faze me. What phased me, what fucked with me was what is the pathway out of this? What is the like how am I going to get a job? What kind of a job am I going to get? So I'm searching for work, right? I can't find work. I'm like as soon as I put it on and I was honest about it. I wasn't going to hide it. I was even going to have trouble if I didn't get very lucky of finding a place to live. When I finally settled into the studio that I was going to live in for like the next from 2014 until 2020 for those 6 years. When I finally found that studio, I had to sit down with the guy that was going to rent out the studio to me and like admit to them everything because they were going to see it on my background check. So I'm like, hey man, I fucked up. I made a mistake. I got caught at the border, but honestly, I'm a genuinely good person. I've never really had fuck ups with the law before, unless I happened to pop off when I was mentally ill and manic and shit. So I've had run-ins with the law because I've had manias that I just like was detached, you know? But it was always like something that was like shuffled under the rug. I never had to, and it was never anything super serious. It was like evading cops. Like a cop tried to like pull me over and I got like scared and like it was like fuck you, I'm not gonna get pulled over, and I just like took off. It's like driving away like Jason Bourne, like how was he just fucking weaving in and out of traffic and like escaping the cops and shit. It was like that very adventurous shit that I did. So I at first when I get out of jail, I like agreed to stay in a halfway house to kind of get my bearings, and that was hell. It was like a halfway house of like for jail. It was like the transition. It was like it was basically like you were still in jail, but you could only go out for certain things. So I was there for like 2 weeks and I couldn't handle it. So then I found this apartment, and then this apartment, I was in an apartment. It was four guys in an apartment in a two-bedroom, and we were sharing rooms, and these guys that I was like living with were like utter lowlives and I couldn't handle it. Then I moved into this house, this shared house, where I was like also two in a room, with like the other degenerates, right? And I'm like bouncing from one place to another for like 4 to 6 months after I got out of jail, and I finally settled on that studio. Okay. And this whole time, I'm like looking for work. I'm struggling to find work. I have a PO, right? Like an officer that's watching over me because I'm on probation for a couple of years. So I also have to like watch my behavior and make sure that I don't fuck up and like do all. But I was never in the disposition to fuck up. I was always a law-abiding citizen, unless I happened to be mentally ill and just like popping off and doing stupid shit, getting myself into trouble. So I settle into this place, right? This studio where I'm going to spend the next 6 years. And when I shit you not, guys, what I'm about to tell you fucking traumatized me this one night. It was one of the first nights that I was staying at this studio, this apartment, right? It was in downtown San Diego. I was like literally, like I said in one of my previous years, I was literally across the street from an Albertsons that I would go to, and it was like very conveniently located, 2 blocks away from the trolley, 1 block away from the Albertsons. It was perfect for someone without a car, with nothing, right? I was paying like $500 a month at the time. This is like 12 years ago. It wasn't that expensive, right? It was perfect, but it also wasn't perfect. It turned into hell. I had experienced the hell multiple times, guys. I had experienced depression, but not like this. Where I was going, uncharted territory of hell. Where I was going, it would be a miracle for anyone to come out of it. Where I was going, the hell. The worst depression you can imagine. Where it's like, oh, I see, oh my God, yeah, go kill yourself, bro. It's really that bad. That you've so willingly given yourself to this lie. So I did the depression video recently, guys. I'm very familiar, okay? But you want to know something about our intuition? You want to know something about our higher self? You want to know? Okay. One night, and it was one of the first nights that I'm staying at this apartment, at this studio. I remember because like I didn't have a lot of furniture up until then. Like it was kind of furnished. It already had a bed and a desk. But I remember a lot of other stuff that I had eventually brought in. So, and I didn't even have like a table to set up my computer and shit where I would like just sit for for the next however many years doom scrolling and playing games and watching TV shows all on the computer. I lived my entire life through the internet. I have this like little what are those things that you have like next to your bed? A little chair, not chair. It's like a little table, like a little bed, whatever. I don't know if you guys want to tell me what it's called, or like well, like that you have next to a sofa or whatever. That's what I had. I had that my computer propped on that, and I was sitting in this chair, and I was like hunched over, very uncomfortable. Okay, and I remember like I had just connected to the internet. They had just installed the internet, and I'm looking at the room, and I'm like becoming familiar with the room. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the walls. I'm seeing my place in this linear story that just happened and how I got here. I'm going over this in my head. How did you end up here? You're in this studio. Okay. And at this point, I'm not even fat, guys. I'm still fit from having been in jail and doing the burpees, like I said. I didn't get fat until a little bit later, like really fat. And in one moment, I look up at the wall, and it's just white painted walls, and this sheer terror comes over me. It comes into me, guys, like I become possessed almost. It's the weirdest fucking thing. It dawned on me. And at the time, I didn't know what it was, but I knew something was off. At the time, looking back on it, I know exactly what it was. At the time, I'm sitting in it, and this wave of terror comes in to me. And I'm like, oh my God. And I start like trying to resist it. I'm like, oh my God. And it's almost like coming in, and I'm like about to fucking lose it. That's how fucking traumatized I am in this moment. Okay. My higher self was giving me a preview of what I was about to go into and the utter hell that I was about to enter into. I got a glimpse of it, how it was going to take me over and how I was going to descend into nothingness. Okay. It comes in me, guys. I'm fucking shocked, traumatized. There's just no reason in that moment to be shocked and traumatized. I'm just sitting in a room like I'm sitting here right now. But it's like my intuition made it known. My higher self makes it known. It's like, yo, you're about to go through some shit. And I intuitively wanted to get away. I'm like, no, I don't want to go through. It's like, you're gonna go through this shit, motherfucker. You're gonna go through this. You're going to go into hell and come out. You're going to go into it, though. Bad, bad hell. The worst thing you've ever. I've been, at that point, I had been through some shit. Nothing compared to what I was about to go through. 6, 7 years of hell. I mean it, guys. I mean it. And I'm fucking shocked. I'm shocked. I'm like, it fucks me up, man. It fucked me up. I'm like, and it's waves coming in of understanding and knowing. The same understanding you have of like, oh, I glimpse God. No, I feel it's the opposite. Same waves of understanding of the dark side of hell, the shadow coming in to cover up my light. And in that moment, I made a deal with the devil. He came in. He's like, yo, I'm going to own you now. You're my bitch. I got you. Got you by the balls. Cool. And then I can't cope with this hell that I'm about to go through. I can't cope with the lies that I'm feeding myself. I can't cope with any of it. And what do? The next day, I go down the binge eating delicious fast food, eating all of this shit and getting fat. I gained probably 60, 80 pounds in like a few months. That's how much I ate. And then before I know it, I'm up over 300 pounds. And I'm like, well, you've gone past the point of no return. Fuck it. Fuck it. Your life's over. There's no coming back from this. There's no work. There's no job. There's no nothing. Just enjoy the ride, bro. Eat yourself to death. And that's what I did. And then what happened was the more I ate, the better I felt. And then the worse I felt after I felt better. And then it created this vicious cycle, right? With like any addiction. And I'm eating and I'm eating. But here's the thing with the eating. You get so fat and so lethargic, it utterly changes your entire internal chemistry, your mental chemistry, your physical chemistry. You can't do shit the way you used to. You can't just go up and get, I'm going to go for a hike. Yeah, go fucking go for a hike, you fucking lard ass. Go for your fucking hour-long hike that you would have been able to do before. And now you're gasping for breath if you go up one flight of fucking stairs. Go for your hike, bro. So I had basically intentionally cut off every avenue of salvation for myself. Physical salvation, I'm going to go exercise. No, I can't go exercise. It's too hard. Right? Mental salvation, I'm going to go find a job. I'm going to go feel good about myself and participate. No, you can't do that either. It's a bitch finding a job now. Right? So what do? I'm going to sit around all day and jack off. If it wasn't for my mom sending me money monthly and paying my rent and me being on food stamps and having a small amount of money just for other very basic necessities, I didn't do anything but that. And so the entire life became I'm on the internet because I can pay for my internet. And lots of people are out there living this way, guys. They don't have shit, and everything is through the internet on the computer. Every media is available to you on the internet, right? That's what I did. That's what I became. Checking out memes, going on social media, playing video games, going on Twitch and like interacting with chat, watching people play video games, right? Doing all these different things, watching movies and every movie, watching all these shows, all the shows, right? Everything. That's all I did. And so God is sending me messages through all of these things. That's the thing. All of these things are aspects of consciousness that you're bringing into yourself. It becomes a part of you. That's why I like referencing Matrix so often. And I fell in love with the Matrix from the moment I first saw it. But how many times every couple of years I would come back and watch the Matrix again and gain inspiration from it. And I'm like, oh, I'm so inspired. And then not inspired anymore, because then I get reminded, hey, Darius, what inspiration is there when you're in hell? Anyway, so I just spent like what half an hour sharing that story of how I became arrested and then ended into hell. And then, yeah, sorry I haven't been reading chat, guys. Drugs in the car, yeah, man. Good guess, Sven. So yeah, it's like I'm a felon, but I don't really even identify with being a felon because I never agreed. Just like I never agreed with my diagnosis of being bipolar and how I always knew it was off. These are just labels now. But to the outside world, they're gonna label me as mentally ill and a felon. But in my heart, I'm not a felon and mentally ill because I was innocent. I didn't knowingly, intentionally bring drugs into the U.S. And also the mental illness, it's not me. People latch onto the label of their mental illness and then it becomes them. Like my bipolar illness. It's just my bipolar. It's hey guys, it's just my depression. It's not really me. Like guys. So but I had to work through all of those associations that I had been making my whole life, that everybody very willingly makes. We attach ourselves to these labels that society puts on you. And then it's natural to then go and blame society for your problems because they're putting this on you if you make that association. But it's just mind. It's all mind. It's all ego. It's all fucking labels. It's all limiting. It's all one little snapshot of what you are. And you're so infinite. You can't be limited by one label. I'm a felon. I'm a bipolar. You see what I'm saying? It's like, you don't have to prove your innocence. They have to prove you're guilty. The burden of proof always lies. Yeah, but Travis, thank you for your comment. The burden of proof is on them, but the proof is I'm caught in the car. It's like very evident. It's very like, I knew that people were going to draw whatever conclusions they wanted to draw, guys. You know what I mean? I knew they were going to, you're caught. It's like you're caught at the scene of the murder. Well, who else would have murdered them? Who? It's like, of course you're going to be the one that takes the blame. Even if you may have been innocent, you just happened to show up. Same thing. It's like I happened to show up for my bringing drugs across the country. This imaginary line, you're crossing from Mexico into the U.S. This imaginary line that doesn't really exist there. Crazy, these imaginary things that we give power to. Yeah, burden of proof is on them. But what is the probability I'm going to be found guilty? Very high. And the probability of them, like, wanting to make an example out of me or something, or like, hey, if you're convicted, you have a 3 to 5 year sentence. I was not willing to go to jail for even 2 years or 3 years over some bullshit. I wanted out. I wasn't even in a place to fight it anymore. What up, KJ? Thanks for showing up. I had a similar experience the night before I had to return to my hometown. Yeah, it's almost like you anticipate. And I didn't know where it was coming from, those terror downloads I was having. It was like, it was bizarre. But looking back on it energetically, I can see what was happening and what was being shown to me. I could see, I was like, it made sense with hindsight. That's why, like, when you're going through stuff, sometimes it's not going to make sense while you're going through it, guys. Your mind can't come in. It's like you almost have to see how your life plays out, and notice every little step and every little synchronicity and how it plays out, so that you can understand the magnificence of God's path for you. It's weird, man. It's like we have to go through hell sometimes. I agreed to it. I agreed to it. I did. Because if I didn't, then I wouldn't have gone through it. It's very simple at its most basic level. It's very simple. If you went through it, it was meant to happen. There's no denying that you went through it. But while you're going through it, you're kind of fighting it every step of the way. You're like, no, I shouldn't be going through this. And every step of the way, you're fighting it. And then you resist it that much more. And then it makes it that much more difficult. I believe you. Oh, you do, KJ? Thanks. Then what happened after that? After what? No, you are not the experience. You are the awareness of it. Ultimately, the experience doesn't matter that much. Yeah, I mean, try telling that to someone that's going through the experience. Most people dismissed it. Dismissed what? Oh, you want to know my... I don't even feel like getting into the worst hell, man. Let's just say that I was very depressed. Suicidally depressed for a long time. I was living in Portland, loving it, but the night before returning to Sacramento, I had the most hellish nightmare. Yeah, it can come in that. It can come in that way. God does not limit himself, herself, in how they're going to show you something. It can come in through any experience, whether you're asleep or dreaming, or sleep awake or dreaming. I speak from clarity now, also been through hell. It's like these experiences that we have, guys, it's just layers upon layers of consciousness. And your mind has to assign it something to make sense of it. And the moment it assigns something to it, it makes it a finite, concrete aspect of something that it thinks it's tangible. So it turns this massive layer of consciousness that cannot be put words to into one word or sentence or story. And it's not that. And so it's like you're going through something, and I can't put adequately to words everything that I experience to give you guys, and all I can do is give you the closest possible verbal rendition of how it felt to look at it. But you'll never know what it was like unless you're in my shoes, in my body, literally experiencing it for yourselves. But you can relate because you've also had similar experiences maybe at some point in your lives. So you know, oh, I know what that feels like. It's kind of similar, but never it. I kept fighting it though. I made the mistake. Yeah, guys. It's like for me, I was such an idiot. It was like almost every like consequential sequential thing after that, I kept making the biggest mistake of my life. It's like I couldn't get my own head out of my own ass. You know? I couldn't like I don't know. What's up, Ineffable? Thank you for your birthday wishes. PPK, what's up? Thank you. Indiana. Ah, Indiana. Sorry that your Pacers didn't make it, man. If you're a Pacers fan, almost. It was a good series. I'm from Chicago originally, so I'm a neighbor. And the Bulls and the Pacers had some fucking great series too, man, in the 90s. I used to love that shit. Reggie Miller and Jordan going at it. Nightmare was like I had my face pushed into mud. Like every person who ever said anything bad to me all started in on me at once. Yeah. Yeah, it can close in on you that way. Like it's like a prison, you know? It's like a mental prison that you very willingly like the place that I'm telling you guys to rest in, the stillness, this powerful, very hardcore self that you're in. Efren, like someone coming at you and saying this stuff from where I'm at now, it doesn't even fuck with you. It doesn't even enter into it literally glances and bounces off of you because you're at such a different vibrational place than the insult or whatever bullshit they're trying to feed you. It doesn't even have power over you, those words, man. It's so bizarre. Like you guys could surround me with people spewing nothing but utter shit and hate towards me, like Jesus, like they will hate me and they're like whipping him and just like beating him into submission and like throwing shit at him and like everybody, and you're just like taking it. You're taking it. Like take it. You know, like the meme, like take it. You're just taking it. It's like you're absorbing it all, and you're not even absorbing it. You're not letting it into you. It's all you're just like this force field, this aura of light. And all they're throwing at you are shards of darkness and shadow. And as soon as the shadow comes into the light, it's absorbed into the light. It's made insignificant. It's made nothing. The light, wherever you point the spotlight, evaporates that darkness instantly. That's how Jesus could heal, guys. You guys, people don't get how he did it. When you direct your thought through your mind and the word, and you focus it, you are projecting a spotlight onto the darkness of whatever you're cleansing or healing. So it's like when you heal somebody physically, their physical illness is a manifestation of shadow because the aligned person that's in perfect health is light. Okay? And then what happens is over time with stress and fear and mental bullshit and consuming too much, right? You can consume a little bad stuff, but too much when you're not in moderation, it builds up this shit in you. And that is of the shadow that takes up shop in you and manifests as a variety of different illnesses: physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, whatever. Illness. It means you're not yourself. It means like ill. It means sick, right? So it's like your normal self, the baby in you, the inner child in you is of perfect health, aligned with the light. wonderment and amazement and like gratitude and like that that love is what you're projecting now all the time, whether you like it or not. Almost, you're so aligned with it. Like, I can't change how I'm aligned. I can't, because like I know that what that lie, I've just told you guys the story. I know what me agreeing to that lie does. I am very willingly placing my soul, I'm holding it up on a platter. I'm like, here's my soul. Devil, take it. Take my soul, devil, take it. You don't have to be a devil worshiper or a satanic person to give yourself to the devil, guys. You're very willingly giving yourself to the devil every moment that you're buying into the illusion of fear. It's actually funny, from that place I just cracked up. Yeah. Wow, I'll keep meditating. I've been getting some emails about how to pray and how to meditate, so I'm going to do a video on it tomorrow, and I'm going to put it up Tuesday or Wednesday, specifically about how to meditate and how to pray. I talk about it so much, I might as well do a video on it, because I get comments all the time about how do you do this. And honestly, guys, it's very I don't even want to put the video up. It's just like, it's so silly to me. Like, how do I meditate? How do I pray? It's like I tell you guys, find a practice that works for you. But if you guys want to know how I do it, and if you want to know differences and whatever, fine, I'll do the video, and then hopefully it'll help. But then now what's going to happen is you're going to come in and say, well, Darius does it this way. This is how you should do it. And it's like we turn in the Bible where Jesus is like, here's the Lord's Prayer. Now I'm going to pray like Jesus tells me to pray. And then I'm going to pray. And it's not authentic. It's not sincere from that place, because Jesus is telling you how to pray. That's bullshit. You pray how you want to pray. These fucking regurgitated prayers. What authenticity is in there when you guys are regurgitating prayers, man, or mantras? Make it your own. Make the meditation your own. Okay, yeah, okay. What I'm going to teach you guys, there's going to be certain techniques to get you into a certain place easier, fine, okay? But when you find something that works, stay with it. If you find something that's rooting you in the stillness, stay with it. It will take you there. Just patience, man. People are very impatient on the path. It's like very, I want results immediately. We're very results oriented with weight loss and achieving goals and whatever. Like, so many videos on YouTube. It's like, give me 10 minutes of your time and I'll evaporate your this or that. It's like, ooh, in 10 minutes, you're just going to give me that? Oh, thank you. You must just be so wise and understanding that you're going to evaporate an entire layer of consciousness within me. Wow, you're amazing. They don't know fucking shit. Weak shit, man. Weak shit. It's all fucking weak shit in the spiritual community. People think they fucking know. They don't fucking have a clue. I'm glad you made it out. Interesting how the mental prison compares to the physical prison. I appreciate. Yeah, it was like, that was like a point that I wanted to make. So thank you for bringing that up. Return to freedom. Like, I might have gotten out of jail, but I wasn't out of jail yet. I made my own jail. I became the hermit in the cave. I very willingly went into the cave of desperation and damnation. There's this saint that I'm very attached to, that I willingly give my attachment to. Saint Anthony the Great, who's one of the first monastics. And I mentioned that I even had an icon of him, right? I had an icon of Jesus and God and the Holy Spirit, an icon of Archangel Michael, and an icon of Anthony the Great. And this guy, if you were to diagnose him today, he's schizophrenic, Anthony. He goes into the cave and he has all these very, very strange visions and like temptations by the devil. He put himself in the cave for years, guys, dozens of years. And then he emerged this like purified saint. It's such a bad, if you guys ever get a chance to read St. Anthony the Great's biography, it was written a long time ago. Fucking amazing, amazing. Okay. In Egypt. And I drew great strength from that, because it was like I had created like, my own prison. Like the Creed song, My Own Prison. We do that with our thoughts, guys. They're constructs. They're physical. You are putting imaginary bars in front of you with all of these things that you're doing and thinking that you can't do. Like you can literally do whatever you want within reason. But whatever you like, there's nothing really stopping you but yourself in anything. Did your meditation practice take you out of your fear? Yeah, like let's just say as an example. So it didn't happen till later, guys. It didn't happen till later. Um, like I mentioned in some of my videos where I'm talking about the path that I went on and the road trip of redemption, and I'm working myself up, right? And I'm telling you guys, if you're depressed, don't even bother trying to sit down and do the meditation and the prayer because you're not going to be in a place to consistently sit down and do it and get the max out of it. First, you look for your inspiration. That's the portal that you use to get you out of the fear, to get the ball rolling, to get the inertia gone of your depressed shit. You want to get the ball moving, you got to look for your inspiration. You got to look for something that's going to make you feel like you want to do something, whether it's be grateful, whether it's sit down and meditate and pray, listening to a song, watching a movie. It doesn't matter how you access this gratitude, this wanting to participate. Because when you're in the hell and you're negative and whatever, you don't want to participate. It sucks the will out of you, right? So how do you get yourself even to the, because it's like oh, okay, Darius is saying meditate and pray. Well, how consistent are you going to be with a meditation and prayer practice day after day after day if every day you feel like shit? How are you going to sit down and earnestly give thanks to God through your prayer and sincerely mean it if you hate your fucking life on the side? How much of a lie is that, right? Well, you got to work your way into this inspiration. So does it take you out of your fear and anxiety? Yeah. Like for example, if it, like I say, I'm not perfect. If I get a bit of fear and anxiety even now, right? It doesn't set up shop in me, but if I notice it and it's in me for a little bit, couple minutes, I can very quickly go into a meditation and within 10 minutes it's completely gone, or even shorter. Or every day if I sit in meditation, it renews the bubble of consciousness of love in me. It recharges it, it replenishes it. That's why Jesus would go every day or every other day, however often he would go. Every morning, early morning, he'd go off and pray. You're recharging yourself, you're reconnecting yourself. That's the grounding that you're doing. You don't have to go walk barefoot to get, grounding. You ground yourself through the meditation and the prayer, and it's more potent and more powerful. And you root yourself in it. You root your if you create an attachment to, I have to ground by putting my feet, then you're giving your power away to an idea of needing to go and ground your energy on the earth, and it can only be accessed that way. Bullshit. I ground, I am always grounded. It's rooted in me. The electrons are always flowing through me. I don't got to place my bare feet on the sand to get that. That's an illusion. Yes, it does happen scientifically that way, but it's also happening when I'm in a meditative state, when I'm in a prayerful state that I embody now fully as I go into life. Weak shit. Weak. Put on your 888 hertz music in the background and do your guided meditation. Okay. And say your, mantras and say your affirmations and do your fucking vision board and jack the fuck off all day. That's what you're doing. You don't realize it. You think you're doing something. You are doing 1%. 1%. I'm not joking. Compared to the 100% of the meditation and the prayer. How infinitely fucking powerful it is. You have no fucking clue until you do it. And then you're going to do it and you're going to wake up yourself and you're going to be where I'm at. You'll be like, Darius is so fucking, oh my God, how much time did I waste doing all this stupid shit? And ironically, you're not wasting time. It's getting you to a path where you realize what the truth is. Just, hey, Yamaha, literally just finished meditating and caught your stream feeling light and fuzzy. Yeah, that's how you feel when you get done, right? It's like very, ooh. Rewatching your videos using the playlist this time, lots of help. Thank you very much. Happy birthday. Thank you, man. I feel isolated until 1 month. My view of life changing every day. I feel upgraded, but sometimes I feels too much. Just wanted to tell someone because no one around who understands. It's okay, man. I'm always available to you, man. You guys can come and watch my videos whenever, and someone understands. I have a pretty full spectrum of understanding with this shit, man. I've been through a lot of shit. A lot of shit, man. So I'm not coming from a place of like ignorance, man. I've lived a lot. It took 44 years of me, 43 and a half. You know what I mean? You know how I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. How crappy it feels to always feel out of place and always wonder what your purpose is and always feel lost. And you're never okay with where you're at because you always feel like something's off, gnawing at the back of your mind in every fucking moment that you are. Doesn't matter what you're doing, you're at work, you're at home, you're out with your friends, something is always off. You don't feel right. And now take that and flip it on its head so that where doesn't matter where you are, you always feel like you're home. You always feel your most authentic, blissful self. You always feel love for everyone. And don't look at me when I get agitated and I scream some shit at something or whatever, and you think it's not coming from a loving place. It's like, man, it just needs to be forceful sometimes, guys. Sometimes you're constipated and you just gotta push. That's me. I'm trying to push you guys through your constipation. All right, I'll be back. I gotta go pee. Give me 2 minutes. I was muted. What up, peeps? I'm back. I have released the dragon, and now I'm good to go for like what, another hour? How often do you guys pee when you're drinking? I don't know. Every half an hour, 45 minutes before it builds up to the point where you're like, I have to release this. For those of you that just got in, I have my sangria. I'm drinking. You guys open up a crack a beer or do a shot with me, man. Celebrate me entering your lives. Ooh. Look at me gracing you with my presence. Man, you guys, it should be the other way around, right? You guys are like in my chat watching me, gracing me with your presence. What's the point of doing a live stream if no one's here to watch you? Can you explain how to detach? Still, I don't get it because how can I not think something I want with my whole cells? It's like you're almost fighting it. You think by you creating this idea that you need to detach, you're creating a conflict that furthers you away from detaching. So let go first of the idea that you need to detach and your detachment will automatically come. It's paradoxical in how it works. You surrender by letting go, but you don't surrender by thinking that you need to surrender and let go. You can't force it. It's a state of being that comes in naturally. And you're going to align yourself more and more through it by, like I said, doing the meditation and the prayer. So it's like you have to very willingly do the work to get yourself to a place where you see and incorporate what this detached state really looks like in your life. That's why I say you carry it around with you. The detached state is available to you in life while you're out there participating. You're bringing this meditation and prayer practice around with you now. It's a part of you. You incorporate it. The detached, fully detached way of being is now brought manifest into your life. So when they say it, like, and this is very common in like the non-duality places, non-duality, communities, and that lineage from like Ramana Maharshi and Robert Adams and Rupert Spira and whoever else is talking about non-attachment, right? They're getting it into a place like the like where you're so detached. You are not your mind, you are not your thoughts, you are not this. It's trying to get you to tap into the most bottom base layer platform of energy of awareness consciousness that you literally are, and then everything else is layered on top of it, layers upon layers of stuff. So I say you have to uncover the layers of your mind to find your truest self. You've built up all these layers, and all of those things are what you are saying you need to detach from. That's what you're trying to detach from, the layers of yourself, the layers of this construct that you've built up over time in this earth. So you zoom out and detach, and then you get the view down into all of the layers of attachment. How are you going to see all of the layers unless you fully detach? Well, how do you fully detach? You do the meditation and the prayer. Well, how do you do the meditation and the prayer? You have to be willing to put aside whatever it is that you think is so important in your life right now, even watching me, and understanding that there is no higher calling, no greater significance than sitting down and doing the meditation and the prayer until you no longer need to do the meditation and the prayer so much. Guys, I'm not having a cigarette. I'm casually praying to God. Oh, look at that. Oh, thanks, God. That was funny. Blessings to you, Lord. Blessings to the ancestors that are watching over me, that are with me always. Blessings to my higher self. You know, it's like, I'm always finding time for it, guys. Even if I'm busy through life, I am always keeping my attention on that part of myself. It's a part of me. I can't not keep attention on it. It's a simultaneous attention that you achieve. You're aware of your internal while being aware of whatever external is going on. And so you become this platform of peace that life itself is happening around you and to you and whatever you think. And that's where you find the true realization that you're merged with it. You're reflected in this external, and the external is reflected in you. And you can't be conscious of it all. It's all very subconscious. But I can, if I choose to implant myself in someone else, I can do it, and I can notice how they react to me and my energy. It's like it's like in Star Wars where Obi-Wan and Luke are going into Tatooine, and some people have a mind that's like more easily manipulated and malleable, and you can implant suggestions into them and they're willing to take it. And like, so Obi-Wan is like, you don't need to see our papers, and he's like, I don't need to see your papers, you're gonna let us go. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna let you go. And it's like these suggestive energies that you're placing, and you're walking through this little maze of suggestive reality, malleable to your will, that is aligned with God's will. But to enter into that place, that's a bitch to get to. What's my favorite Star Wars movie? I used to be a huge Star Wars fan. I used to like regularly watch with my buddies the first three that came out. They're not the first three in the the whole trilogy or whatever. I really didn't care for the recent ones with like Boyega and Daisy Ridley. Like they're okay, but like. And then I like a little bit more the ones with like Anakin and like Obi-Wan as Ewan McGregor, like those the first three of the trilogy of the whole like 9 that they did or whatever. I like the middle three the most, obviously, with like Luke Skywalker and like Darth Vader as Darth Vader and Yoda and Palpatine and shit. I like the first three because they gave you the story of how they became that way. So I thought there were some cool parts. But of those three, which one do I like most? I would say it's a tie between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Because the reason I like Return of the Jedi is because Luke is like a master now. And he comes back, he's got like the all black garb. He's like, I'm the most powerful shit in the universe, motherfucker. It's like so badass, right? But also the Empire Strikes Back because there's so much going on and it moves the story along so well. And it's a very well-paced movie, right? Return of the Jedi doesn't really have that as much, but the story is just so magnificent because you see Luke in his badassness, just like Neo in the Matrix kind of shit. I like that a lot. It was crazy seeing the very first Star Wars, and Maria, you don't look that old. Jesus, girlfriend, you look like you're my age. Good for you. You're beautiful. If I'm basing it on a picture. Congratulations, being forever young Maria does. I envy you. I hope I look as good as. Because if you were watching it in the 70s, that means that you were at least born in the 70s, which means that you have at least a good 10 years on me, right? Somewhere around there, I'm guessing. Yeah. Dude, Star Wars, like, yeah. 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 So, yeah, Star Wars, it's just like how we can find inspiration in these stories that hold significant truths, but people don't think that they're that significant because it's just a movie. So you watch so many movies, some are more significant than others, obviously, right? Like for me, when I was in my teens and Forrest Gump came out, that movie is like so fucking hardcore for me, Forrest Gump. What it did for me as a kid, how inspirational it was, and just how transformative and amazing that whole movie is. Always will have a special place in my heart, right? Or Groundhog Day, like I've mentioned, or like the Indiana Jones movies, or I don't know, like there's so many Fight Club, The Matrix, right? Lord of the Rings movies, and like there's so many movies that are really good that are always pointing you on this hero's journey. And like you're watching these movies and you're like, oh, I can't have that for myself. You have it for yourself if you want it, guys. You have it for yourself if you want it. But you don't think that you can have it. The problem is I don't know how I landed in tarot channels. I'm kind of addicted with the hope they pumping. Yeah, man. I watch tarot stuff too, but I use it for guidance. I'm not buying into the hope they're pumping. Every single video is, oh, you're gonna be rich and you're gonna have the love of your life come in. Come on, guys. Sooner or later, it's bullshit, right? It's like I've been watching tarot videos for years, and everyone says that I'm gonna meet the love of my life. She's right around the corner. And then, like, if enough years pass, then yeah, they're gonna be right sooner or later, aren't they? But for all those 5 or 10 years that I was watching them, they weren't right, obviously, were they? Because they weren't. She wasn't literally around the corner. Like they're all saying, in the next week, in the next 3 days. Oh my God, you just never. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're trying to get you through watching pepped up a little bit, inspired a little bit, oh, hopeful for an outcome. So that is illusory a little bit, guys. That's why I'm saying you have to discern, and they even tell you that you have to discern in these tarot videos. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Well, if you're so willing to resonate with any message they're throwing at you, you've lost the plot. You've lost it. Video is out of focus. After getting hope, expectations come out, stubbornness comes, and at the end I get mad. Yeah. So I did my expectations videos, guys. They are setting your expectations up, and you're very willingly giving yourself to these expectations. You're like, oh, that narrative sounds nice. I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that and that. When I was following tarot as guidance, that's why I was only searching for the hardcore spiritual stuff. I didn't care about the relationship, love life, and work and whatever. I wanted hard, and it was very few channels that I was resonating with of the highest order, like literal like channels of like they're almost tapping into my collective and like giving me guidance and placing me. And I'm seeing the truths play out in real time. I'm like, oh, there's some shit going on here, right? But if every tarot video you're watching is you're gonna meet the love of your life, you're gonna be rich, you're gonna find this amazing job, you're gonna this and that, and then your life keeps reflecting bullshit, well then obviously you know it's an illusion. If you guys are gonna watch tarot, it's probably better that you're watching some of the spiritual shit, man. If you're resonating with me, you're already in that place where you're vibing with that spiritual stuff. If you're gonna use guidance to say like you're having a hard time, that's why I'm saying do the meditation and the prayer because you're gonna find the guidance yourself. You're gonna naturally know what to do. Okay, but if you need external guidance, try to stay on the more spiritual stuff. The drama and the like, you'll never believe what she said, and you're gonna have all this money and all these women and all these men, whatever. Fuck all that shit, man. That stuff is not important when you're on the spiritual path. That stuff appears later after you've graduated, right? If I was on my road trip of redemption and some woman came into my life, I wouldn't have fully realized myself because she would have distracted me and I would have gone on a whole other path. These things come into your life when they're needed, guys. Everything, every person, aspect of your reality is guiding you on your ascension. You don't wake up and have the final clarity and now you're done. You think like I'm done expanding into myself? I'm always learning, I'm always growing. And it's not finalized. You guys have so much more to expand into yourself. So much more. You're right now, you're in the baby steps, man. Right now, you guys are just dipping your toe. It's okay. Most of my life, from the age of 17 when I had my first awakening, until 43 and a half when I had my final clarity, most of those years, I spent earnestly dedicated to the spiritual path in one way or another. Even when I was living hell, even when I was off and like doing stupid shit, I was always finding my way back and reading up on spiritual stuff in one way or another, or putting these things in their right place in terms of spirituality. And it's always you at the center of your story, right? Your own POV. You're filtering everything through your own lens that you see. So every time I'm going back to this idea of I feel so lost, I'm so out of place, I need guidance, something feels off. I'm recalibrating myself in terms of whatever surroundings I find myself in to try and make sense of it in terms of this spiritual path that I know I'm ultimately on. And here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. We've turned being enlightened or being awakened or being some guru or master, we've turned it so into this thing to be worshipped or something that's just so unattainable, it'll never be achieved in my lifetime kind of shit, that you almost stunt yourself and prevent yourself from allowing for you to expand into that full understanding. You're like, I'll just be a nun for the rest of my life. Jesus is God. And you're always going to be a nun and you're always going to have Jesus above you. You're a nun and Jesus is it for you. And then you reach sainthood, but Jesus is still number one. In your mind, you could never be Jesus. In your mind, you could never be Buddha. And what I'm here to show people in today's age is that These guys are you. It's blasphemy in their religious circles. Muhammad, peace be upon him, revered, respected, right? I can't ever achieve Muhammad. He's the final prophet in their religion. You guys are that. They were at one point in their lives just as lost as you are now, looking for their enlightenment. Maybe Muhammad, it just came to him, right? Maybe Jesus, it just came to him. But Buddha, he was searching for it. They've talked about it in his story. He saw how off shit was and he went and searched for it. So by you guys doing this right now, watching my videos, placing yourself on the spiritual path, you're trying to wake up to yourself. Well, when you fully wake up to yourself, you have achieved your Bodhi Buddha-ness. And now you are your own guru, you are your own master. And then what we're trying to do is on this new earth, everyone is their own master, aligned with truth, and they all come together to manifest the true spiritual human mastery of life, of new vibrational amazingness in this earth. That is possible. It's possible. And then you're going to say, it's like you're going to say, well, what about all the people that don't buy in? What about all the negative people? That takes care of itself, guys. There's a purging that's coming. I don't know whether you guys realize it or not. There's a purging that's coming. And one way or another, stuff is going to fall away. Whether people die through illnesses or destruction, right? Hurricanes and tornadoes and earthquakes, and there's stuff coming. Believe me. You see it already, the beginnings of it happening. The climate change is accelerating. Politically, lots of crazy shit's going on. Not everyone's going to make it. And the people that are aligned, the people that wake up in time, will know the path to follow into safety, into the new earth. These are the harbingers of truth that will make it. That like in the revelation apocalyptic kind of ideologies, the people that are brought back from the dead, well, you're never going to die, really. You're just going to step into this new way of being. But if the majority of the earth that's left over is stepping into this way of being, then what room is there for nasty pieces of shit? Do you see? What do you do with those people? How do you get them to wake up? Some of them are never going to wake up. Well, they have their own judgment coming for them. They have their own karma coming for them. And so because they're so not aligned, because when the terror of fear comes before them and they lock up and they get traumatized and they just like succumb to their death, the one that's awakened won't have that same terror come into them. They will be present and they will see the illusion and they will be guided away from that illusion. That's how it works. You guys can't see it now because you're still asleep partly. The more you awaken and align, the more you see the signs. And then you see the signs and they protect you. This is the divine protection that I'm talking about, guys. So you don't have to believe in Jesus as the Lord and Savior of you to be saved in this revelationary kind of, apocalypticism that's coming. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, the meek shall inherit the earth, but how can you understand the true meekness if you're busy chasing shit? If you're busy chasing stuff, these people that are numb, that have given up, that are just watching TV every day, gorging themselves on food, stuck in their addictions, they're so blinded by whatever they're chasing, they're not going to see the impending destruction before them to guide themselves out of it. It's like the story of Jesus, and his parents taking him into Egypt because they know that that stuff never happened that way. But it's illustrating a point that something comes to you, makes it known, and then to go somewhere. There's going to come a time where people are probably getting persecuted, man. It's already happening now, guys. These are the beginnings of it. People getting persecuted, the Hispanics getting pulled up and raided by the ICE agents. This is the beginnings of it. It's going to get much worse. And so you could easily lose your shit in it and be scared of it. What is there to be scared of? If you're aligned with truth and know how to evade it naturally, that you're always in the correct place to avoid even that shit that's coming for you. They could intentionally be chasing you and not be able to find you because you're so protected in this like shroud of light that you embody. And it sounds delusional, I know, but it's not. It's very real. I am shedding my smoking addiction, weed, and cigarettes. It seems like the mind likes to cling on to these pleasures, though I see that there is no true pleasure. Any thoughts on this? Yeah, there's pleasure, man. There's pleasure. It's like you being grateful for participating in a specific physical aspect of life is pleasure in its truest. It's like if you're just mindlessly consuming food or alcohol or cigarettes and you're addicted and you've given yourself to this thing, then what true gratitude is there for the physical experience of that thing that you're doing? You've fully merged this aspect of yourself that you're lost in this thing that you're chasing after constantly by smoking or whatever. I smoke cigarettes, but I'm not balls deep into addiction of smoking cigarettes. I can quit whenever I want. I don't have to smoke a pack a day. If I smoke a few or a handful, I don't really care one way or another. I'm not sitting here fiending for cigarettes every couple hours. I got to go have a cigarette. If I feel like getting up and having a cigarette, I will, but it doesn't have me by the balls. If I go a day without cigarettes, I'm not going to die. I'm not like in a prison from it. Do you see? I choose it because I like to smoke occasionally when I feel like it. There's a difference. And you have to get yourself to a place where you have that relationship with basically everything. Everything is take it or leave it. Everything is in moderation. As it comes up, you get inspired to do it. You want to experience that aspect of the physical, then you do it that way. And there's no addiction there possible because you're always centered in yourself. And if you start noticing something pulling at you and there's a portal, a karmic cord that's being created, cut it at its root immediately and move on. So yeah, there can be pleasure in smoking, but now you're so caught up in the addiction of smoking that you can't derive pleasure from it because you know it's sick. You've entered into a sick imbalance. Does that make sense? 20 people here, no one chatting. You guys gonna say something? Yeah, what's up, Giselle? How you doing? Beautiful. Yep. Thank you, Drew. Thanks for the feedback. Thank you, Anthony. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. 44. It's like a magic number, isn't it? When you turn 22 and 33 and 44 and 55. What's up, Tasha? What's up, beautiful? How are you? Yeah, Giselle, we're gonna get together one day and we're gonna have some cigarettes together, girlfriend. We'll talk about these live streams I used to do before I was famous. Everything I lived gave me a lesson until now. I appreciate it. Is there any end, or we should accept those lessons to upgrade more and more? There's always lessons, man. And all it is your mind framing things in certain ways to be understood. Little snapshots, little slices of the pie. The true understanding is always being known to you through your intuition, and then your mind comes in and labels it a certain way. So it's like, yeah, you're always expanding and growing. You're 44 too? Oh, sweet. We're the same age. 81? Were you born in 81? I was born in 81. Or maybe you were born in 80 and you haven't turned 45 yet. Yeah, man. Ours is like the best generation. The millennials, but also Gen X. It's like on Reddit, the social media, there's this thing called the Zennials, right? There's like this little from 77 to like 83, there's like a 6-year period where you're like kind of bordering on that you're both generations. Yeah, that's us. We've dipped our toe in the analog aspect of life. We know what it was like before were fully digital, but we're also young enough that we know the digital aspect of life and like pagers and Nokia cell phones and like, Prodigy and AOL and like that whole thing and like 80s music and like 80s and 70s and 90s movies. This whole new generation has no idea. We're just so much cooler than them. They'll never know. That's why I can come off as being kind of cool. Like I'm always gonna be young at heart, right? I'm always gonna be a kid, even in an adult body, like I say. But like I like these kids today, they're so into like, video games and shit. For all these years when I was depressed and suicidal, I was on Twitch and like playing video games like in my 30s. I was like like I'm very familiar with all of that stuff. So it's like I have both all of that spectrum available to me. Whereas like the Gen Zs, they don't know what it was like before cell phones and shit. They don't, you know what I'm saying? So we are here to usher in that new age, guys, to like show people what it was like before all this technology, before we lost ourselves in it. But we also know how to use this technology. Yamaha, I appreciate the donation. Thank you very much. Michelle, thank you very much. Oh, look at all these guys. Michelle, she turned up the emote game, guys. I don't know about the rest of you. She did 4 separate emotes. She did the right, and then she did a leaf, a branch, right, and then she did some wine, right. She did some wine, and then she did the glasses. All right, cheers to Darius. He's the shit. I love you, Darius. I love you, Darius. You're amazing. Ugh. Yeah. You've helped me more than the VA ever did or could. You're doing a great job, and your videos have brought me a great deal of peace and letting go of my past. 37 now and living again. Happy birthday. Fuck yeah, Yamaha. Fuck yeah, bro. That means more than you could know. Like I said in some of my videos, you've had just even help 1 or 2 people, then job fucking well done. So yeah, thank you. It wasn't for nothing. How much effort I've put into my videos. Sometimes I wonder, I'm like, what the fuck is the point, right? You guys saw in one of my last videos, the intuition one, where I'm like, I'm just gonna stop doing it. Fuck this, you know. So you guys giving me that kind of feedback, it's important. It lets me know that it's reaching you. It's important. So yeah, I'm always available to you guys. Even if I'm not around, you guys can always come back and watch my videos. Like I say, I'm always with you if you need help. Just turned 44. All right, Giselle. When's your birthday, Giselle? You just turned 44. Are you a Cancer like me? Yeah, not just fitting in Nokia. Yeah. Oh my God. Remember Nokia? The snake game on the Nokia? And you'd go around and you're like eating the snake and it gets longer. I mean, obviously the snake is still around and different, but that was like the badass game. You're like playing it, you're like hanging out with your buddies and you're like, I used to love playing that game or Tetris. Oh, there was this, I remember on our when I was in high school, we had these TI 90s and 95s and 83s and shit for like upper level math classes, right? And you could program these games into them. And we had these verbal word games like, so there was this thing called drug wars or whatever, and you would go to like certain places and like you'd buy drugs and sell them for more, and then you'd like build up wealth in it and shit. I remember that. I remember the games on the Nokias and shit. Happy birthday and good night to sleep. Peace from Germany. Thank you, Gift Bender. You're like wine in a coffee cup. You are definitely cool. Yeah, exactly. It's like I can't do it in a glass or else you guys are gonna judge me. So right now, if you guys don't know, I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm drinking coffee. Yeah. No, don't stop. You have been helpful. 9 of July, yeah, the snake game, and I'm the Tetris queen. Yeah. So you're a Cancer too. Yeah. Cancers are very emotional beings. But honestly, I used to think when I was younger, I didn't know as much about astrology as I do now, that like your whole chart is important. And like that your ascendant is actually more important than your sun. So I'm a Capricorn rising. So like in a lot of ways more Capricorn than I am Cancer. And honestly, I'm a Sagittarius moon. And the moon is also very important. It's like those three are like the holy trilogy of your chart. What your moon is, what your ascendant is, and what your sun is, right? And the Sagittarius is a very fiery thing. That's the fiery shit that comes out in me. And honestly, I have all four of the elements in my chart. I'm very also heavily Libra in multiple placements. So I have Libra, like this justice, balance, very heavily incorporated into my chart. So that's like the very justice, like righteous kind of shit that comes through me. The Cancer is the very emotional feeling part of me. The Capricorn is the groundedness, the earthiness, the centeredness, the hard work. And then the Sagittarius is the fiery shit that comes out of me, the Holy Spirit. And these are just associations that I've personally made. And on some level, they're true for me. But yeah. Leo rising, Libra moon. There you go, girl. We're very close. Yeah. Leo. Leo is also a fire sign. So I used to like going and like reading my chart. I would go on Cafe Astrology and I would print out my chart and read through it. And I would check in with it. Every couple of years I'd go back and like fully read my report, my chart, and see if some stuff that was being pointed out in that would make more sense. And also on Cafe Astrology, you can do like compatibility charts where you bring someone else in and it like lines up your different aspects in the astrology with you and your partner, and it shows you which parts of your chart are compatible, which ones aren't so compatible, and stuff like that. So like with my ex-girlfriend, we like read through our like compatibility charts, and that was interesting. I always wonder about that, how much truth there is to it. Maybe there's people that are together that like they're living this amazing life together as partners for years. And if you go through their chart, their compatibility chart, every fucking aspect is just like challenging aspect. It's just like difficult, but they make it work somehow. And so maybe you just throw out the window this whole astrology bullshit, right? Ah, it's not real. There's no truth in that. Just like numerology. And I would do the same thing with my numerology. Like I mentioned in one of my live streams, Dan Millman wrote a book called The Life That You Were Meant to Live, The Life You're Meant to Live. It's a numerology book. If you guys haven't read it, I would recommend it. Find out what your life path number is. So I was a 2911. And like I said in my signs video, the 29 and the 11 and the 2 took on very significant meaning in my life in how I see signs sometimes through numbers. But I would read through that reading, that explanation of what the life path 11 is. And you know how much of that shit is accurate in how my life played out. Master number 11. Ooh, so hard. It's not that important. But you could be a 5 or a 6 or a 9 or a 33 or a 22, and you might have no clue that these aspects of what your life path is, on some level, you agreed to come in and participate and experience your life that way. You chose it before you came in. And then God is assigning numbers and astrology to your physical manifestation to give you pointers on this. But if you throw out the baby with the bathwater and think all of it's bullshit, then how can you find any guidance? And people do the same thing with tarot. Oh, that's mystical woo-woo shit. That's of the devil. It's bad. No, no. You have discernment. You know what resonates. Any message that's given to you, even me speaking to you, if you don't resonate with it, then you can say it's of the devil. It's bullshit. It's a lie. It's the same thing. God doesn't care how the message comes into you. He just wants the message to come into you, whether it's a movie or a show or a spiritual teacher or something, a book that you read or an astrology thing that you realize about yourself or a numerology thing that you realize. All of these things hold significant truths waiting to be uncovered by you. Love is complicated. Tell me about it, Giselle. Tell me about it, girlfriend. Indigo, thank you for the birthday wishes. Ooh, that looks like a delicious strawberry cake. Give me some. Life path 1. Yeah, life path 1 means creativity. So like I have life path 1 times 2 as an 11. So I have double 1. That's what the 11 is. And then it reduces down into 2. So I have to also learn about cooperation and balance in relationships through the 2. And then the 29, 11, and then the 11 is a whole other thing. Look at this, Just Jasco coming in hot with a donation. Appreciate it very much, my friend. July 11th, bro. That's a day before me. Hell yeah, man. Another Cancer in here. I'm July 12th. Cancer, Sun, Sag, Moon. Bro, Jasco, we're like the same, man. Aquarius rising. I'm a Capricorn rising. I'm like one placement off from you, but I'm also a Sagittarius moon. It's amazing. You're my little brother. 25. Awesome, dude. I only got 19 years on you, man. Thanks for posting your great content. What was one moment you had a deep realization? A realization. I don't know if you've watched any of my Awakenings videos, but I would go and watch that. That's like a whole video dedicated to realizations that I had. One that I haven't shared, it wasn't even really a realization, but it was a moment in time where I always think back to just how lost I was and how helpless that feeling was, the opposite end of that spectrum, and how found I was by understanding the polarity of the lost and found. I realized parts of myself. So this is 2009, 2010. I think it's 2009. Okay. I'm in Seattle and I just got a job at Radio Shack in Shoreline, Washington, which is a northern suburb of Seattle. Okay. And I had just been living in Phoenix for a couple of years in Tempe. And I had lost my previous job and I went up to Seattle. A friend was going to give me a place to stay. And then I found a job and then I worked my way into getting an apartment with this guy that I met, and we were like roommates and shit like that, right? So I'm living I'm renting a room in a woman's basement, and the guy is also renting another room that I would eventually move out of there with. We would get an apartment together, me and this guy, Al. And she lived in Shoreline in this like wooded kind of nice community, a house. Okay. And I used to smoke cigarettes back then. I still do, but like I was addicted back then to cigarettes. And I would go out late at night and I would have a cigarette before I would go to bed. Okay. And I remember it was kind of winter going into spring, maybe March, somewhere around there, April, whatever. And I was so lost. I can't tell you guys how lost I was. Like it wasn't even like I'm so depressed or whatever. I wasn't that depressed, but I was feeling very, very, very out of place. I couldn't up until, and at this point I was what, like 28, 27? I was in my 20s. I was still ignorant a lot, guys. I was still a kid. You guys think like in your 20s that you know so much. You don't know shit. Wait till you get to your 30s and 40s. You're going to start realizing a lot of stuff about yourself. And I'm not saying that in your 20s you can't know. Even when I was in my 20s, I knew some stuff, but you haven't placed, like I say, things in their right place yet. I'm outside and I'm having a cigarette. And there were two things on my mind that day, and had been on my mind up until then. One, I had created this illusion of me needing to find someone, a woman, to complete me in some way. I had bought into that illusory bullshit. story, fable, whatever, that everybody collectively in humanity feels this compulsive need to have a partner, have a special someone. Oh, when am I going to find that special relationship? So I'm thinking, man, God, when are you going to play? Like, I feel so lost. Like, when are you going to bring her into my life? Oh my God, I can't, like, my life's not going to begin until I find this person. And the other one was, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? God had this fucking incredible purpose for me, but I wouldn't realize it for another 15 years. You know what I mean? 10 years, really, because in 2020 is when I realized I should do a YouTube channel, but I didn't actually do it until now. The amount of how lost I felt, I can't put it into words. How I'm looking up into the sky and I'm noticing the stars and these massive trees that are like shrouding, like it's just dark sky and lots of stars out and some moonlight and these trees, huge fucking like trees. And I'm just this small, I'm feeling so insignificant in this vast sea of nothingness. I'm just a little speck, lost, without a direction. I'm like, okay, like I'm doing this. I got this job at Radio Shack, but that's not what's meant for my future. I'm not gonna be a fucking person working at Radio Shack for the rest of my life. What do you want from me, bro? And I'm almost challenging God. I'm very adamant in my attitude. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Why do I feel so lost? When are you gonna show me my path? And up until then, I hadn't ever really like had a showdown with God in that moment where like I felt so lost. I'm like, what the fuck? Another showdown didn't happen until the night of when I had my first conversation with God, where I mentioned in that video where I'm like, God, and I closed the book and I'm like, God, what the fuck? And then he speaks to me. Well, that time it wasn't ready. It wasn't time for me to have a conversation with God. I was still too young. I still hadn't gone through enough turmoil and shit to appreciate the eventual trajectory out of hell and the gratitude I would merge with and feel for God. So I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Feeling so lost and helpless, guys. Have you ever felt lost and helpless? Everybody has at some point, right? But I'm really feeling it extra that night. It's like super extra, super lost. And then I bring it back now, come full circle, where how found I feel, how home I feel, how centered and powerful I feel. Not like some illusory, like I'm Thanos or like Captain America shit. No, not powerful in that sense. Just rooted in myself. That a thought of I feel lost, I don't know what's going on would never come in. It doesn't even enter the equation. I'm always found. I'm always placed where I need to be in any moment. And that's very significant if you guys can get to that place. You might feel lost. In you feeling lost is where you're meant to feel lost, to understand and appreciate the opposite end if it finally does dawn on you, just how found you can feel. And then you realize what your true purpose is. Oh, well, creativity might be about right. I thought it was leader. Yeah, it's creativity and leadership. Yes, it's both. Tasha, what tarot channels did you resonate with? I had one especially. Her name was San, S-A-N, San Tarot. Her channel used to be big. It used to be like hundreds, like 115,000 people, but she got shut down. She reopened her YouTube channel, and now has like maybe 5,000 followers. And you could look up San Tarot and find her again. But I had a whole library of bookmarks and extended readings that I had gotten done, and like all that shit's been lost because they closed her original channel down. So I was a little bummed about that, but whatever, it served its purpose. Another one, her name is My Way Tarot. She's very spiritual and badass. She does some love stuff too, specific love readings, but most of her stuff's very on point. I've resonated very much with her. Yeah, I'd say like those were like the main two. Is there anyone else? Hold on, let me check. Because like I fall in and out of tarot resonance. Some people, for portions of my life, they'll put out good content that resonates for me, and then other times I have to take a break from them because the videos they're putting out just aren't. I'm not feeling it, so I'll take a break. Another one. This guy's a fucking badass. He's right up there with San and My Way Tarot. His name is Gareth Hudson Tarot. This guy, the way he describes tarot astrologically, he's very centered and he's very spiritual in his approach. If you guys only followed those three and watched their stuff, they would further you on your path if it resonates with you. So yeah, Gareth, San, and Liv, that's her name, the one from My Way Tarot. They're all beacons of guidance that have been placed for me, and maybe now you can check them out, Tasha. Maria, birthday. Thank you so much for your donation, guys. Maria, thank you very much. Beautiful. This beautiful blonde older woman in my chat. Oh my god. Maria, stop. Stop. You guys are so nice to me. Thank you. Guys, it's time for a refill. Don't fuck with the Carlo Rossi, bro. Don't, if you don't know how to bring it, if you can't handle a $7 or $8 1.5 liter bottle of sangria, then get the fuck out of my life. Feeling lost to be found. Yes. Giselle, sorry, I didn't read your comment. You wrote a lot. Okay. The Bible is all about astrology and the snake, Adam and Eve, the split, masculine and feminine balance. Yes, those are all very common themes. Yeah, and I've talked about in a bunch of my different videos, Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve and the split into two and the mind coming in knowledge and that whole dichotomy. That's what they're describing. They literally weren't Adam and Eve, the first man and woman. It's describing mankind and womankind. Tasha with another okay, cool. Like, okay, cool. I don't know. It's hard to read into it, Tasha. Okay, cool with an exclamation point next time, and I'll feel better about it. But don't just drop in an okay, cool and get me butt hurt over your okay, cool, Tasha. I don't appreciate it. I had something similar, an internal conversation with me asking, who am I? Never been so petrified as I came to my conclusion we are all biological robots. Yeah. It's kind of the point that I'm making with my your destiny and free will video, that if it's all destiny, then it is, you're like a robot. So the free will comes in as your own POV to make you feel like you have choice over your life. And it's very specifically, meticulously designed that way for you to feel like you have control over your life, when it's really God through you that's experiencing himself through you. It's both and it's neither. It's not you. It's not 100% fate. It's not 100% destiny, guys. It's not. It can't be, because then what choice do you have? Then you might as well just like lay limp and like give up. But you do have choice. But it's also not 100% choice, because if it was, then literally anything you wanted at any time would always be made manifest. You see what I'm saying? Then you'd fully have control over every aspect of life. You'd literally be God if it was 100% free will. Do you see? So it's both. It has to be. Okay, cool. LOL. Okay, cool. Oh. Yes. Thank you, Tasha. Tasha Ninochka. It's like, is it like a Slavic last name? Are you partially like Russian or Ukrainian or something? Memoir of a Bitcoin. Happy birthday, brother. Peace, love, and good vibes. Yes. Back to you as well. Thank you. Proust in Dutch. Yes. Are you Dutch, Giselle? Are you from the Netherlands? You have a beautiful way of putting the concept into words. As contrary as it appears in surface, it is truth. Yeah. I mean, there's a person that left a comment. It might be my favorite comment of any comment that's been left on all of my videos. They're like, I love how aggressively enlightened you are. And I'm like, that's a very good way of putting it. I am. I'm not enlightened really, It's just that's a bullshit label. Like I say, they're all bullshit labels. But if you were to assign a word to it, fine, I'll use that. But the aggressively part, yeah, very much so. I am very aggressive in how I deliver the message. I can be peaceful and like a robot and sit unanimated. What fun is that? In 5 minutes, you're asleep. How fucking boring is that shit? And yeah, like, don't always look for entertainment, but it's nicer if it's like, as a human, you can relate to it, right? Like, come on, man. What are we watching comedians for? What are we watching Eddie Murphy swear his ass off on stage and just make fun of life? George Carlin, whoever. If everything's so serious, you're spiritual, you just have to be like fucking monk in the forest, like a Bodhi or a Buddha. And it's just like, I am so non-reactive to life. I'm so centered all the time. It's like, come on, man. Because even in that is like this over, just like, I'm so detached. I'm so much better than you. I'm so detached. You know what I mean? It's like, man, come back and participate. Come back and give. Come back and smile. Right? Come back and participate. Come back and have fun. Have fun. Make life fun for others as well. Guys, I walk into a room, my job is to make you feel good. I'm not out here with that objective, but if I notice that you feel like shit, if I can make you smile, if I can make you have a little bit better of a time, then job well done, right? If I can make you even align yourself one step closer to realizing yourself, then job well done. Doesn't matter how or when or why it happens. What matters is if the eventuality. It's Russian, but I'm not Russian. My dad was into Russian literature when I was born. Okay. That's funny. So what nationality are you? Or ethnicity? The choose the choose is to evolve, seeing self, finding self here. Yes, all tulips. Yeah. No BS, straight to the point. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for. There's too much. This isn't to cast shade, but there's way too much bullshit in this spiritual community, this new age community. People that have no fucking clue, speaking as if there's some sort of an authority on the religious stuff they're trying to put words to. These spiritual things, they have no fucking clue. And you can sniff them out very quickly. They're using like all these fanciful like new age community words, and like it's just layers upon layers of vibration and frequency, and like the spectrum of this, and like quantum this and 5D that. If somebody comes in like a 5 minute span, if you hit on all of those terminologies, I know you're nothing. I know that you're not it. Why? Because you're so bought into this new age mentality of spirituality, you've basically turned it into a religion for yourself. You're very willing to give yourself to these labels. You buy into this I'm a star seed, council of light guardian, ushering in the new earth kind of bullshit. There is some truth to that. But when you go hook, line, and sinker, you're the fish that's caught on that little bait. You've been baited and you buy into it very willingly in the new age woo-woo bullshit. It's all fucking fake. All weak shit. British, but I live Jamaica. Oh my God, Tasha, I'm coming to visit you. Jamaica, I've always wanted to go. I probably couldn't even if I wanted to. Like I said, I'm an international drug smuggler, so I couldn't. You guys are gonna have to come visit me in the States if you ever want to see me in person, probably. Unless I escape. Ooh, I'm gonna escape the US. Yeah, it's the honesty that freaks most people out, but why? Thank you for your raw honesty. Great stuff. Thank you guys. It's still giving your power away. I feel all these entities are still the part of the game, just a different level. Yeah. Get a second passport. I could. I could. I'm Greek. I'm half Greek, and my mom was born in Greece, so technically I could get a Greek passport, but that doesn't mean that I might not have trouble. I've been saying for years I'm not aging, I'm just gaining XP. Exactly. Exactly. You're leveling up. Have you reached the next stage yet? It's like you go into a stage where there is no stage. It's almost the antithesis of stages. So Tasha, do you have like a Jamaican accent mixed with like a British one? Like, do you have a British accent? And you're like, oh, hoity-toity, you know, like whatever. I don't even know how to do a British accent. And then I'm also wondering, do you guys that are in a different country that have that accent, you find the American accent sexy the way that some people find the British accent or different European accents sexy? You see, is it because it's different, or is it because you just like the way it sounds and it comes? See, I always wondered about that stuff. Haha, I was trying to figure out how we know what stage it's like aging. We can't really tell. It just flows. Yeah. You like as it's us that like we feel through our mind uh, um an importance to demarcate stages of our lives and ages and whatever birthdays. It's like if you I could be a super uber non-dualist that is so detached, and he's like, what is a birthday? I wasn't even born. What am I? I am nothing. I have merged with the oneness of everything. It is an illusion. I just sit and do nothing all day. I don't even shit or piss because I don't even eat, because I don't need to eat. I don't even breathe. I'm so one with everything, right? You're that detached. Okay, have fun, I guess. Right. That's a form of delusion as well. There's an extreme to the spiritual shit, guys. There is. You can get baited into spirituality as well. And that's what a lot of this new age community is. A lot of spiritual BS, it's stepping into starting. It's starting something somewhere, leveling up much better that all the blind are not willing to see it. Yeah, I agree. A lot of BS. Guys, let's say, and some people feel personally attacked when I point out certain aspects of the spiritual and new age community that people like and people are very like into. They feel attacked if I point out, like, let's say somebody really identifies with the idea of being a star seed, and then I come in. I could even meet the woman of my dreams. I'm meant to be her life partner, and she buys into the idea of her being a star seed. I could tell her that that is an illusion while still respecting her and loving her and acknowledging that that's just a part of a conditioning that she chooses to bring on for herself. All I ask is that she sees through the illusory nature of what that label is, and that it's ultimately never going to be the truth. All of that stuff is BS on some level. Some things you just more I might be drawn to. I'm not attacking the spiritual new age community. I'm saying that all of these things you guys are doing, you think you're so far outside of religion. I'm not Christian, I'm not Muslim, I'm not this. You're creating your own new religion through the spiritual lingo that you've bought into so much. And then over time, that's eventually also going to become a dogma. One of the last streams that I did, I called it spiritual but not religious. If you're going to turn the spiritual into a religion, then you're spiritual religious through the spirituality of the mumbo jumbo that you're buying into. Yesterday was my birthday, D. No, I'm Jamaican in lingo. I acclimated during school. Oh, so you grew up in Jamaica. So you were born today? No, D, we're off by one day. I think we're so used to hearing the American accent, I think it sounds normal. Yeah, I mean, in media, right? In media, like the US has pumped out all of the media to all over the globe. So dogma means entrenched belief. Dogma means entrenched construct, law, spiritual belief, belief in general. So laws, rules, commandments, these are all dogmatic in nature. You think that you have to behave a certain way. You think you have to believe a certain way because some authority at some point said it was this way. That's when dogma comes in. And the more it catches on, the more it becomes a part of the consciousness, the more people buy into it, the more you perpetuate a fictitious fragment dogma. And that's what all religion is. 99%, 90%, whatever percentage you want to put on it of religion is dogmatic in nature. And the vast majority of it is all bullshit. The core spiritual truths that these religions are pointing to are outside of dogma, are outside of commandments and rules and behaviors and whatever. Don't even think, bro, this is just what we do. I prefer dogma to mean unquestionable belief. Yeah, I mean, unquestionable means like you can't even fathom something outside of it. It's just so entrenched. Did you watch Zeitgeist? Yes, I did. That's a lot of bullshit too. Some of it's okay. Some of Zeitgeist was inspirational in a way, but it's too conspiratorial, especially when he starts going off into like the Jesus stuff, like Jesus means this and Jesus is the Son, and it's like whatever, man. You can make whatever mental associations to different religions and overlap religions to mean Jesus is the Son, and the Judaic law is the moon, and the apostles were the 12 zodiacs, and you can do all of those things, man, but they're not real. Jesus was a real dude. He existed. And he did a lot of crazy shit. But people come in afterwards and they can't fathom somebody achieving a state of being like that. They're like, no, it makes more sense that Jesus is the Son and the 12 disciples are the zodiac. And because you're rationalizing it in a certain way. And if you want to draw those parallels, you can. No one's admonishing you for it. It's fine, whatever, man. But there's delusion in that. Thank you. You're welcome. I grew up in the beautiful South Africa. That's awesome. Just so you probably have a bit of a South African accent. That's cool. Sometimes the best way to reinforce ideas is by opposing them. Yeah, I mean, it's going to seem like I'm opposing a lot of different stuff when I'm in this channel speaking and pointing out certain truths. And that's why, like, when Jesus was around teaching, a lot of people naturally felt that his ideas and rules and whatever he was talking about was in contradiction to the law and the prophets because he was so far removed from any dogmatic shit that was entrenched through Moses's law. And he's like, he was both. He was breaking those barriers, but he was also fulfilling the law and the prophecy. He was embodying, he was the very essence of all of these good, righteous things that all of these laws are trying to point to. But he's just doing it in his own way, and they just can't fathom someone existing that way because they had no frame of reference for a chosen one being before them in that way. Not you, Zeitgeist. No, not you, Zeitgeist. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, yes, you could definitely get stuck in rabbit holes using your intellect going around in circles. Yeah, man. What do you think overanalyzing and like the mental masturbation and whatever I talk about is? It's very easy to get caught up in your head, guys. Everyone's caught up in their head nowadays. It's all anyone does, and it's very normal. I'm so in my head over this girl. I'm so in my head over this guy. I'm so in my head over this job. I'm so in my head over what my mom said. I'm so in my head, in my head, in my head. And you're so in your head that it becomes so normal. And you're just very willingly giving your energy to your mind all the time. You're just giving yourself to your mind, giving yourself to your mind. Everything's in your mind all the time. That's the insanity. That you're very willingly giving yourself to your mind, and whatever random bullshit and fearful shit it pops up, you buy it, and you're like, oh, that's me, I guess. Yeah, it's so scary. Oh, I'm so scared. It's all bullshit. I think most of the story serves Plato's idea of the benevolent lie, if you say so. There's a lot of Platonic and Greek and Roman philosophical archetypal ideologies that are in the early Christian works, the logos, the word. They adopted that from the Greeks using the logos, the word. And it's very much in Gnosticism as well. These are all interchangeable ideologies, philosophical, religious, psychological, they're all the same. It is layers of mind trying to explain the supernatural, unwordable existence of what life is. So, yeah, it's all borrowed, it's all intermingled. The Mesopotamian, Zoroastrian, 12 deities, Judeo, Hindu, all these religion like melting pots are all different archetypes of energies pointing to essentially the same thing, adopted at different places over different times, over different centuries and millennia. And some believed in more than others. They're all true. I think most of the story serves Plato's idea of the benevolent eye. I identified as an atheist for 27 years. None of it made sense to me. I always jokingly said I was God since like 11 years old. I actually caused me some issues in life. Yeah, I mean, but you are God. It's like, how are you an atheist while you're also God? If you really believe that about yourself. I'm not saying that like maybe you became an atheist later. The thing with atheism today is that what they're not even necessarily rejecting the idea of God because they don't really know what God is. They haven't defined it properly. So if you're coming out from a fundamentally wrong basis for your knowing of what atheism is, then you're of course you're going to reach the wrong conclusion. But what happens now with atheism is I'm an atheist so that I'm in contradiction to what religion is, right? Today atheism is the opposite of being religious and believing in a God. But you don't only believe in God through a religion. There's an entire branch of spirituality spectrum that is outside of religion while also believing in a higher power. And nowadays, they don't even talk about God as God. They use different words for it: spirit, consciousness, universe, source, because the word God has become bastardized. It's owned by religion so much. I still use God because I recognize what God is. And when I say God, I mean source and spirit and energy and consciousness and universe and all of those words. None of those words are adequate. You can't put one word on the everything of everything and the nothing of nothing. So if I were to sit down with an atheist and have a debate, I would have to define what God is. And then from there, we could have if we agree on what God is, but the atheist is never going to come to an agreement of me saying everything is everything and nothing is nothing and God is all of those things and nothing. They could never accept that idea as what God is, because then they would have to agree with it, because the everything of everything and the nothing of nothing and everything in between, how can you deny that that is truth? You don't have a frame of reference for it if you're an atheist. You haven't experienced it directly. But in the level of your mind, it's too big of an idea. So it's easier to say, nah, there's no God. I'm Gnostic. I'm agnostic. Maybe there's a God, maybe there's not. I don't know. An idea of some central intelligence, some animating force, some woo shit. It's too big of a leap when all you see is physical, when all you see is the laws of physics and science and materialism. I was an agnostic. Yeah, same. Isn't an agnostic atheist the same thing? Not believing is also an act of faith. Are we breaking the barriers just like Jesus, the Son? I have been put into the shame pole, Easter time. Why does the Bible just seem to be the path of life? What are your thoughts? The Bible is just inspired words of God. Some truths, lots of untruths, lots of dogma, lots of BS. The Bible, for the people that wrote down the Bible at the time that they wrote down the Bible, these things were very inspirational, guiding light truths to them that they followed. But if you read enough of it, it's hard to have a frame of reference for the stuff they were going through to fully appreciate every aspect of what they're talking about in the Bible. It's a different time you're living through. You don't have the same frame of reference or POV. That's why I say there are always truth tellers that come every generation to make these things known to the people today in terms of today. That's why I'm here. I'm one of those truth tellers that happens to be pointing to things in terms of how reality is set up now, right? And I can bring in some older teachings, but it's inefficient if I'm always pointing to the Bible. I'm going to come in and write nothing but biblical scripture, and this is truth. And it just sounds detached. Some of it's true, some of it's good, some of it you'll find it'll point to truth. It's good. Some of it's crazy. Jesus came to me in a dream as a teenager. It was quite significant for me over the years. Not that it matters, as the message is the same. I've questioned if it was him or me talking thoughts. It was both. It was both. I've had Jesus visit me too. It was both. Anything that comes into your consciousness is an aspect of God. When you guys realize that, then it's just different slices of the pie making themselves known to you. However, you yourself make an association to it for you to draw some meaning from it. So Jesus coming into your life, it was Jesus because you assigned it to that. And it was meant to mean something to you in terms of Jesus. Jesus is infinite now. Jesus is up there with God. He's a part of God. He is a fragment soul of God, with God, closer to God, ascending still. The Buddha, all them, all these entities, they're all graduated from the earth plane. Some choose to come back as avatars to speak truth. Maybe I already graduated and I'm coming back as Darius to speak this truth again. Maybe. Or maybe this is my first awakening. I don't know. I don't really care. Sometimes it's unimportant. All that matters is that you realize the truth and that you embody it and then eventually maybe teach or speak about it. Okay? So if you have a Jesus as an important role model, and then that role model comes in and shares a message, you're more prone to take that advice than if it was just some schmuck nobody. So because God knows that you've put Jesus a bit on the pedestal, Jesus means something to a lot of people. He means something as a beacon of truth. An example. Then you're going to have your own association to Jesus, and Jesus is going to have his own association to you. Guys, whether you realize it or not, everything's connected, right? We know this. So you have, I am in your consciousness. When you go to sleep, our subconscious is talking. My subconscious, even when you don't have me on your screen, is always talking to you. My subconscious is merged with God, and your subconscious is merged with God. And they're always talking. It's all happening. That's how powerful this mind is, man. There's only certain things that you're conscious of. Everything's connected on the subconscious level, the unconscious, supraconscious, whatever labels you want to put on it psychologically. Same shit. Okay. So I could come into you in your dream. Now you're going to say, oh, Darius came into me in my dream and I had a talk with Darius. That must have been a very important conversation that I had with Darius. No, you're not going to have that same significance because I'm still alive today. And you haven't propped me up on the pedestal the way you have with Jesus. You see? So every single person that has some kind of deity, some kind of archetype, some kind of truth teller that holds a special place in their heart as an example to follow, okay? Once they've passed and moved on, you worship them, and through that worship, you create an even more entrenched, dogmatic, karmic cord to them that now they are a place of authority to come to you and speak to you in your dream. When the homeless hobo on the street could say the same message to you, but it doesn't hold the same significance because it's not coming from a place of authority. So who are you to tell me this? It's all very hypocritical. I don't like to label, but if I have to label myself, I'd say loveliest or loveist. Sure. Loveist, not even accurate. It's just one end of the spectrum. Have you looked into Thomas Campbell, my big toe? You mean Joseph Campbell and the hero of a thousand journeys and a thousand faces, or Thomas Campbell? I don't know a Thomas Campbell. I suppose at some point it's all the same message, just worded slightly different. Yeah, that's all it is. And that's why I tell you guys I get tired and I get frustrated because it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of, at the same time, it's not, but a lot of vocal strain to put words to stuff that I've done 1,000 times over in my videos. All the same shit. And maybe me wording it in slightly different ways for every single video is important to a specific person because it penetrates one little opening where they can it can come in and resonate with them. That another message may or may not, there might have been a barrier to that wording of that message or that energetic vibration of that message. So yeah, okay. Then I have to do all these videos because I understand that. Does it make it less tiring and masturbatory? Yes, so many of our questions go back to the same answer, and it's much more simple than we make it out to be. Yeah. The simple is usually the correct. Happy birthday. God is always present. Thank you, Ishmael. Appreciate it. He's a physicist. Oh, I think I've heard of Thomas. Yeah, a physicist. I think I've come across his name, although I probably haven't read anything. But the trick to having tons of views is having over 1,000 videos. You can always find something to say on the subject. I don't want to put out 1,000 videos, guys. I really don't. I feel like I think eventually I branch out into doing different sort of stuff. Maybe there's videos made about me, or maybe I'm on other people's podcasts or 10,000? No. Get the fuck out of here, Maria. I don't think so. We already are. Most of us have to remove the veils blocking it. Yeah, that's all it is. Like when I say you have this gunk, you have this layer of shit, you have whatever, that's the veil. That's the illusory wall placed on top of us. YouTube will not post my text. Strange and irritating. Sorry, Giselle. What are you gonna do, man? All you can do is smile and nod. It's like God is gonna keep you here as long as you need. You've heard the stories of people that try to intentionally kill themselves and they still come back. They have like a near death experience, maybe even, and God tells them it wasn't your time and you just have to come back. Like, what choice do you have? You think you kill yourself and that you have choice over you killing yourself? God could bring you back from anything if it felt like it. There's people that would jump off of the Golden Gate Bridge, something that would kill 99% of people that jump off. But some people somehow just miraculously survive with like a broken leg or something. It doesn't matter. You're going to experience what you're meant to experience, whether you like it or not, kicking and screaming. Laughter is the best. Just laugh, right? Like the Joker said, life is not a tragedy, it's a comedy. Yeah. It's like you see the comedy in the tragedy, and you see the tragedy in the comedy. What is the end? Well, how do you want to know what the end is if you don't even know the beginning? What is the beginning if you don't know the end? I remember you saying we are already on the roller coaster. Why not raise your hands up and scream, surrender to the ride? So some people close their eyes out of fear. Yeah. The roller coaster of life. Such a wonderful analogy. We're all children kicking and screaming through it. We're like, we haven't been potty trained, and we're just like literally pissing and shitting everywhere with our fucking spewing of our misery and toxic shit on everything. That's what we are. You're a non-potty trained little baby, little adolescent whiny bitch that's going around and just so like, yeah, I didn't get my way, I didn't get my lollipop, and you're just whining. The kid that has like the little temper tantrum in the store because mommy wouldn't buy them their candy bar. That's you going through your life resisting everything. And I have to put it that way so that you see how childlike and how stupid you are. Like there's a on Reddit, there's a thread, a forum, a subreddit they call them, called Kids Are Fucking Stupid or Kids Are Stupid. And they post these videos and these clips and these things of kids doing stupid shit that adults laugh at them because they're so stupid. But the adults don't realize that the shit that they're doing themselves is fucking childish, stupid shit. And that's the fucking mind fucking paradox of it all. And that's why comedians are hilarious because they're pointing out our childish shit on stage and we're all laughing at it. But if somebody comes in from left field and says, hey, you're being an idiot right now, you're going to take personal offense and get butthurt by it. How dare you say that about me? And you become like the Karen in the moment. You're the Karen. You're like, how dare you say that about me? Who are you to tell me that I'm a child? And then you go out and go do your childish behavior. It's traumatic, child, stunted, like little baby you crying out for mommy, sucking for the mommy's tit. Always, mommy, mommy, mommy. How many people out there have mommy and daddy issues that they're acting out as an adult still their whole lives? Abandonment complexes, all this different shit. Nobody knows how to get in touch with themselves and purge that karmic trauma that has stunted you. And that from that stunted trauma, you are literally carrying out that energy through you, this karmic portal cord that you are very willingly giving yourself to your entire life. You haven't reined it back in, healed it, and then gone on the other trajectory of yourself. Tasha found it funny, guys. Guys, oh, Tasha found a big LOL. Oh, thank you, Tasha. I love you too, baby. I love you too, baby girl. Thank you. Guys, one little LOL changed my whole night. Let's go. You say it's your birthday. Well, it's my birthday too. All right, Hayes. If it's really your birthday, happy birthday. I have Kabbalah class now. Have a great stream. Thank you. Have fun at your Kabbalah class. Just know that anything you're learning in Kabbalah, I'll teach you better in a shorter amount of time because I'm the shit. I'm going to have Ronan Keating's Life is a Roller Coaster lyrics on replay in the old noggin for a while now. I don't know who Ronan Keating is, but sure. I'm there with you, bro. Finished all your videos, starting watching again. You got me to meditate so much more. That's the true key. Yeah. Memoirs, I mentioned earlier, I have a video coming out. It's going to be about like how you pray, how to meditate. Because some people want more instruction, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that'll be helpful for you guys. You're what? The shit? Yeah, I'm taking a shit. I'm on the toilet like a life. It won't come out. Very resistant. It's so true though. Some people live in their shit. Yes. Some people like eating shit too, literally. It's gross. There's lots of fetishes out there, guys. All kinds of weird shit that humans do. It's so funny because I was on Reddit. I'm on Reddit a lot sometimes, right? Because I like to like spend half an hour or an hour of my day browsing through whatever nonsense is in the human consciousness, right? And there's this one little video of like a hamster or a gerbil. That's like this little hamster's like head here and his whole poop hole here, and he's like bending himself, contorting himself to feed his poop so that he can re-eat his poop. And everyone's like, "What the fuck is this normal for this hamster or whatever it was to eat its poop?" And they're like, in the comments, they're like, "Yeah, it's normal. They don't fully digest their food, so there's nutrients still in their poop when they eat it." Or like one of my buddies had a dog, a Shih Tzu, that would eat its poop, and every time he's like, "Yo, dude, stop eating your poop." You know, some dogs have a fascination with eating their poop. Some stuff that we would just be grossed out by. Other animals or beings or entities have no problem with it. It is all your own, I don't know, POV, your own, like what you're willing to put up with, what you find tasteful or distasteful. It really is my birthday. All right, Hayes. Happy birthday, bro. My birthday was yesterday. I challenge you to meet my instructors one day. I don't need to challenge shit, but thanks. Like, it's like whenever someone challenges me, it always brings to mind Jesus getting constantly challenged by these Sadducees and Pharisees trying to catch him in something. You're never going to catch me in something, guys. You're never going to one up me on what you think you're going to like mentally make some point about something. This is not going to happen. You're going to recognize the truth and you're going to vibe with it, or you're going to be in opposition to it and you're going to spew some shit to try and mentally manipulate some point to think it's some kind of gotcha, but it's not the gotcha because I already know the gotcha of the manipulative duality based mind. And when I say it's like a chess player that is thinking a dozen or 1,000 steps ahead, that's very much the umbrella of spirituality that you put yourself in. Yeah. I mean, what is the response, man? Either I say nothing or I say something. If I say something, it's going to come off as like I'm being challenged and I have to keep my rep. I'm just putting words to it so that you guys understand the frame of reference so that you also eventually have an understanding. Trust me, there's a lot of shit on my channel as comments that I don't engage with, that I could very easily point out all kinds of delusional and inadequate points of view. But it's okay. It's fine. I like it. Everyone has like their own little POVs of nonsense. It's okay. It's all delusion on some level. Enjoy bedtime in Netherlands and light to you all. All right, Giselle, get a good night's sleep. That's a fire response. Thank you, Ishmael. Ishmael. There's a book called Ishmael. I don't know if you've read it. It's a good book. I only have 10 people here. How do I have over 2,000 subscribers and only 10 people show up on my birthday? How much do you guys not like me? I'm going to go drown my sorrows in wine and feel sorry for myself. Nobody loves me. Nobody loves me. You know how long I lived my life feeling sorry for myself and thinking that kind of really, really adopting that. I'm just saying now as a joke. I don't really care. But my whole life, feeling sorry for myself and having that kind of internal dialogue, nobody likes me. Oh, who am I? I'm just nothing in the world. What girl's gonna want me? What, what this, how, I could never, like, always just like this fake imposter syndrome towards life. At some point, you get sick of being the imposter to your own life. You're living, are you not? You're drawing breath, are you not? How are you an imposter? Just be. Just be yourself. All you can do, guys, don't do more or less than just being yourself in any moment. And that's adequate. It's more than adequate. It's full. It's like less is more. The less you try, the more you are. It is so perfect. It's like that's where the true miraculousness and synchronicity comes in. The signs, like that's where like you fall truly into your power is less is more. Don't resist. Just be yourself in any moment. It's beautiful. That's why you get so many people in my videos. They leave comments. You're so authentic, bro. You're so how are you so authentic? You're so cool. Like man, you're just like real, true. Like how I don't care. I stopped caring about what you guys think. Then I'm just naturally more myself. If I'm gonna let's say I'm gonna go on the Joe Rogan podcast. Millions of people that watch that, and I'm gonna be insecure and nervous, and I can't really be myself because so many people are gonna judge me. Then how is the true me going to come out and be funny and authentic and cool and charismatic? If I'm always second guessing and paralyzed by this internal fear of like this insecurity, like I can't say that, I can't that we're all living our lives from. The moment you see someone that's authentic, you're magnetically drawn to them. You're like, wow, that's so cool that they have no shits given, that they're just like, oh, they're okay with themselves. And how long did it take for me to get myself to a place where I'm very, very okay with myself? Some people are blessed naturally with that confidence. Maybe they derive that confidence from them being good looking. They're like very attractive. They just know they're very attractive. So they just go wherever they want. They're like, I know women are just going to love me because I'm just so physically attractive. That's also illusory because you're placing your authenticity and this confidence from your physical. The moment God chops your one arm off or you have this massive scar across your face, how confident are you anymore? Do you see? It can be taken away in an instant. So it's a false confidence. It's still confidence, but it's masking a deeper insecurity. How do you balance certain things and not getting lost in it? Guy, that's so generic question. I don't know where to begin. Guess just watch my videos because I don't know what certain things are and what anything is. Oh, I've often had my own pity party. We create such a it's all it is. Tasha says that's very true. I don't know what's very true, but because Tasha's saying it, I like it. Peace and blessings. I'm gonna go get breakfast. I'll tap back in. I don't know I'm gonna be around, but you can always come back and watch the VOD. Ishmael, thank you. Thank you, Ishmael, for gracing me with your presence, my friend. Yeah, I might go for another 20 minutes or so. Make it like an even 3-hour video for my birthday. And then I don't know. Maybe I go eat something. All I ate today was a donut, pastry. Yesterday I went to Walmart and I bought this box. I love Danishes, the ones with like the jelly, sometimes cheese and like the little frosting and like I love having a morning coffee with some kind of pastry. It can be a croissant, it can be a Danish or like a muffin or something. I love that. Little things like that that I used to take for granted. That now it brings me so much joy to just have like a tasty little treat while I'm having my morning coffee. I love that. Who needs sex and a relationship and a woman to complete me when I'm completing myself in all of these little moments that I have in my life? And it can be anything. I'm outside having a cigarette. I'm like, oh, how amazing. I'm watching a movie or a show, right? I'm meditating. I'm taking a shower. I'm taking care of myself. I'm bathing myself. I'm doing my laundry. All of these things are so holy. They really are. And we take them all for granted as mundane as just like, oh, something to be done, chore. No, man. These are all amazing aspects of life. You've come into the physical to do these physical things that you take for granted. When are you going on Joe Rogan? As soon as Joe Rogan discovers me, maybe I don't even know that I would want to go, but whatever. I was talking about less is more. Yeah, exactly, Tasha. Bring DMT if you. I know. I've watched those where he talks about DMT. Yeah. I really dislike putting fuel in my car, so my new thing is to treat myself to a pastry and latte at the pit. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's perfect, Indigo. It's like you turn something that you fucking normally would despise, bring some sunshine into it. Whatever, however you need to deal with it, man. Cool. I don't know, like I don't know where you live, Indigo, but just by you saying petrol, I imagine you're like in Europe or something, right? Because we don't call it petrol in the US, we call it gas. But um like for example, let's say you go to Costco. In the US, we have Costco, right? And you can get a membership there, and sometimes you'll have cheaper gas if you get gasoline, petrol at Costco. So I'm imagining people like lines and lines of people waiting to get gasoline at Costco, and they're eating their Danishes with their coffee, waiting 10 minutes. That's me thinking of you, Indigo. 11:11. Oh, 11:11. It's a holy number. No, every second is a Maria, chill out. You're too enthusiastic right now and you're making me look bad. Plus, I'm grateful to have a car and put fuel in it. Might not be the prettiest thing in the world, but it gets me and my girls wherever. There you go. That's all you can ask for. My mornings are coffee and pacing my house listening to your videos now. Shut up, Yamaha. Guys, there was a time when I was still kind of more in my head where I would pace back and forth in my room and I would get inspiration and creativity from pacing. There's actually studies done where like creativity and inspiration arises when you're walking. So like let's say you're out on, I don't know, a trail or on the sidewalk walking for a good half hour, and you want to do some brainstorming ideas, that's a good time to do it. For some reason, it puts us in more of a disposition to have, I don't know, maybe it's easier to tap into some aspect of stillness within us by doing that activity. No homo, and not weirdly, but I love you, man. I want full homo and very weirdly. Like, hey, Darius, all homo. I love you. You're amazing. Give me the homo, all homo, bro. Like, let's fist bump to it. This world needs more beings just being. I'm not trying to feed the ego, just stating what I feel. Peace, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah. Keep feeding me with egoic compliments, guys. I love it. You guys make me feel so good. The moment that those compliments stop, I'm gonna start feeling bad about myself. Propped up by compliments in the chat. And you guys want to hear something funny? I'll bring it back to like today's society. What do you think is happening on Instagram and any other social media where especially women, guys not as much. Women have like this they're more prone towards a physical insecurity, beauty standard. It's just how it is. And so, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not common in men. It's very common in men, but not as common as with women. That, like I was saying, how oh, I love your compliment. It props me up. What do you think you putting your shit on Instagram for the likes and the comments is? All these absolutely fucking gorgeous women. There's no denying they're physically attractive. That are so deeply insecure that they need to put themselves on Instagram to get the likes and all these comments to prop them up, to make themselves feel beautiful. It's all on Reddit too. Like there's like these subreddits like, am I attractive or not? Or like, whatever, do I look cute in this? What would you rate me? All these insecure people that you know you're attractive. You're a fucking 10. You're a 10. You're objectively beautiful. Any man would die to have you physically. You know you're hot, but you're still on there asking if you're hot. How insecure are you? Your insecurity makes you so unattractive. I'd rather have a 6 or a 7 that is deeply secure in herself, that is just like so confident and just authentic. That makes her a 10 or an 11 in my eyes, than the woman who's a 10, who's so insecure she's a fucking 5, because she's just so and just jealous and petty and drama and all this nonsense, like Real Housewives of this or Kim Kardashian's that. And it's infiltrated our society to the point where like it's normalized. Sorry, it's my little rant, but it's true. So someone like Maria or like Natasha or Tasha, or like, you guys are physically beautiful women. You're pretty. You come in here and now you spew negative drama, nonsense shit to me. It drops you, but you're yourself and you're like cool and nice. Your attraction level goes that much higher in my book. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, give me something that's real, man. I've lived my whole life chasing fake shit. I've had attractive women in my life before, guys. What is it if it's fake? The whole relationship's fake. I'm trying to be something that I'm not, to keep some attractive thing that I think is too good for me. I've put her on the pedestal, putting the pussy on a pedestal. How fucking silly is that shit? For what? To have some sex? Some unenthusiastic sex? It's like, if I vibe with you and I'm really intimate with you and you love me for me and I love you for you, how mind-blowing is that sex going to be? It's going to be the best sexual experience of your life that everyone's craving. The authenticity is king, man. So many fake people. They don't know any better, so like I can't really condemn them for it. No 20s and 30s girls. I will very much take a woman in her 30s. I'm 44. Someone in her mid to late 30s, it's fine. If she's mature and authentic, fine. Or in her 40s or 50s even. I don't care age that much. I'm not going to probably go for someone in their 20s. You'd have to be, if you're like in your late 20s and there's a 15-year difference between me and you'd have to be significantly advanced spiritually for your age for me to even entertain a possibility of being with you. That level of maturity usually comes in your 30s and 40s, guys. When you're in your 20s, you're an idiot still. Is it gonna focus? Sorry, guys. What up, Uriel? Hey, girlfriend. Stop cheating on me. Yo, Uriel, I didn't know we were. Uriel's beautiful too. I had a like. God, I'm sorry about this. I had another gorgeous woman. So many beautiful people. For us to get caught up on one person, you know, like you date someone and like they become your world almost. You derive your sense of self in this relationship, and then they leave, and you feel like a part of you is missing, and you think that there aren't equally as attractive and important and significant and amazing people out there for you that God will naturally bring onto your path when you're ready. You have to have faith in this, guys. You have to have faith that whatever is in your moment right now is perfect for you, however distasteful it may seem. It's just another something that if it was taken away, you can go from bliss to depressed fast. The world is aimed at materialism. Yeah. I mean, how can the world not be materialism? The world is material. The external is a material. Our physical is a material. So it's way easier to go down the material path because it's very readily available at every turn. There's way more to it than a pretty face, especially long term. Yeah, Tasha, and even like Uriel and Maria, you guys are pretty. You guys could probably go out and get any man that you want. You probably even hate so much male attention, right? At some point, it's even a deterrent. It's like you don't like it. It's almost like you wish you were a fucking more unattractive, because you get to beat them off with a stick. All these horny, lonely men. Leave me alone, man. I can't even go to Costco or Target without some creep like staring at me because he's just a horny, lonely motherfucker. Sad, sad person. Humping and humping. You can't. Like everyone's trying to get off all the time through whatever. Like, are you okay with yourself, man? It's one thing I go out and I see a beautiful woman and I notice her, and in a moment I look at her, I'm like, oh my god, what a beauty, and I move on with my life. I'm not like, ah, you're so hot. I see some of these cringe videos where these guys are like, you're so beautiful. I just felt compelled to come up and talk to you because you're so beautiful. And this woman's heard this line 1,000 times, and there's nothing inspired behind how you're approaching her. I just felt so compelled to come up, baby girl. You've been, oh, ooh, look at you. You're so fine. Cat calls, all kinds of shit. Cringe as fuck, right? This guy's like, dude, dude. It's all surface level. But okay, like we can't deny that, like you see someone, something about them physically is going to be up. There is no denying the physical attraction in the beginning. But how long is that going to keep you? You might be the hottest bitch I've ever seen in my life. You might be the hottest piece of ass ever. You check off all the boxes. You turn me on so much physically. You are a fucking 10 in my eyes. You might be an 8 for some other guy, but you're a 10 for me. And then I talk to you, and the moment you open your mouth, you're a nasty, corrupted bitch. What the fuck am I going to do with you? Or like he's some macho guy. He's like so physically buff. He's 6-pack and like buffed out, right? He's very physically attractive. You just love him. And he opens his mouth and he's like just some dumb jock. There's no empathy. There's no sensitivity. There's no authenticity. It's all just like, I'm so hot. Look at me. I'm so hot. How old was that going to get? Babe, do I look cute in this? Oh my God, I'm going to wear this. It looks so cute. Like, bitch, get the fuck off me. Is it cute or not? Fuck off. Put your yoga pants on, put your t-shirt on, and let's go have fun. And who gives a fuck about what you look like? Ponytail? I don't care. Makeup, fingernails, whatever. I don't give a fuck about any of it. Who are you? Did you read about that girl that married a tree? No. She said it was the best sex she ever had. So she married a tree. Yeah, what did she like fuck herself with one of the branches? That's how I feel about guys. LMAO. Don't someone marry a ghost? I mean, we're all ghosts in a physical body. But you mean literally a ghost? Maybe. God, we're all such silly, silly people out here. Silly, silly people. I like pointing it out and laughing at it and like, yes, she masturbated against the tree, I guess. Oh my god, that's so hot, but also so stupid. Ooh, ooh, so hot. You should do a poll on your next video topic. I already know the next few videos I'm doing, but if I get to a place where I'm kind of stumped, then I'll ask for you guys. I'll put up a few different options and give you guys choice. Boo. All right, guys. Any final things you want to talk about before I go? You have 6 minutes. Thank you for your donations, those few of you that you donated. Can I do a video on tragedy? What kind of tragedy? Tasha, you asked me this before, girlfriend. What's going on? Sangria is delicious. I'm not a very wine connoisseur, so I don't really care. I like cheap wine. I really like how sangria tastes. I like the sweet, fruity part of it. What about tragedy, Tasha? What's going on? You want to talk to me in person? You want to do a video call? You can. If there's some serious shit going on, maybe even one video isn't adequate. With tragedy, what do you mean? Someone dies in your life? Thank you, Indigo. I appreciate it. Really, thank you for the donation. What do you mean, Tasha? Like a suicide? Someone dies of cancer? You know, you're molested or raped as a child? Like what do you? Give me something more to go on. How to deal with sleeping problems? Taking tranquilizers is an option? Yeah, short term, Tommy. Short term. Um, you can take, what do they call that? There's a word for that. It's a pill or like a gummy bear. Starts with an M. Anthony, thank you for the donation, man. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Um, okay, melatonin, yes. But with melatonin, guys, I've read up on this because I used to have some sleep issues too. Okay. With melatonin, the 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 dosage that they're giving is way too much melatonin and it almost overstimulates you. You want to find a very low dosage melatonin, something in like the 0.3, 0.5, 0.8 gram melatonin than these 5 and 10 gram, whatever the fuck they're giving. Okay. So look for low dosage melatonin and take that. And when I was fucked with my sleep, 2 of those before I went to bed, it might have been like 0.4 or 0.6 in total or 0.04, whatever the dosage is. I don't remember exactly. It would knock me right out in 15 minutes. Ooh, like a very nice, peaceful little sleep. So, Tommy, try that. Maybe you tried melatonin, but you've taken the wrong dosage. Try the lower dosage one. You can find them on Amazon or wherever. But also, you can develop a habit with it, and then now you can't fall asleep without your melatonin kind of stuff. So it's very tricky and it's a slippery slope. It's like any addiction. So depends, what is it that's keeping you up? Are you thinking too much, right? You haven't learned how to still your thoughts, and maybe there's some kind of fear or anxiety that's keeping you up. You got to do more of the spiritual work that'll improve it. Just your input on what the purpose is in it for us and the one that goes through it. So, like any tragedy, any difficulty. Okay, hold on. Let me copy this. I'm going to copy your comment. Give me a second, guys. I'm putting it in my list of topics so I can think about it, and uh, maybe in a week or two I'll come out with a decent video on it. Uh, yeah. Indigo and Anthony, thank you for your donations again. Do you recommend guided meditations? No, I don't. No. I don't think none of that ASMR frequency 989 hertz guided meditation ASMR like you know, Reiki master wannabe bullshit. No, that's all weak shit. Like I said, sit down and do the work yourself. You guys want this? How bad do you want it? You could do 2 years of Reiki ASMR 989 hertz video guided meditations, and you could accomplish the same thing in 1 or 2 months of sincere, dedicated work yourself. Which one are you going to choose? You're a passive participant in this shit, guided meditations and stuff. Do it yourself. Point your own rudder in the right direction you want to go in. You'll find your blind spots easier that way. Do you think CBD, THC weed products are low vibrational? What's your take? It depends the context within what you're using them for. It's like any substance, you can get addicted to it. So be careful what you're using it for. But if you want to occasionally do those things, there's no harm in it responsibly. Just like alcohol. I'm drinking, guys. I'm like Jesus when they were making fun of him hanging out with the drunks and the sinners. He's a glutton and a drunk. Look at him eating and whatever. Ooh. Can't have a drink. Yeah, drinking is bad. Alcohol is a poison. It's a toxin. Why they ban it in Islam. It's bad. But you can do it in moderation. It's okay. But you're not balls deep in it like anything. See, you already have many more videos. Suicide, accidents, like what's the purpose on a higher level? Yes, sure. I get it. I get it, Tasha girlfriend. I got you, girl. I got you, girl. What was the name of the numerology guy you recommended something to it later, brother? Thanks a bunch. The name is Dan Millman. The name of the book is The Life You Were Meant to Live. Check it out. Do you think tuning forks and singing bowls are helpful? Yeah, I mean, they're okay if it helps you get into like a nice vibrational thing, but you don't need them. They're just accessories. It's like I'm wearing earrings today. Do I look pretty? No, you're already beautiful. The accessories are just you manifesting and expressing yourself in a way, whatever. Goodbye, Darius. Enjoy your day. We're over. Are we over? Like we're no longer together, Uriel? Are we broke up already? What a short-lived relationship. I didn't even get to have sex. Like, what the fuck was the point of it? Everyone going out to get laid. I was in a faux relationship for like 15 minutes with someone, and I didn't even get laid out of it. What was the point? We broke up already, and I have no say in it. I can't plead my case. Come on, baby girl. I'll say baby girl. All right. All right. Thank you, all you beauties, for being in my chat again. Thanks for keeping me company. It's been fun. You guys have a good day. Keep an eye out for my next video, probably Tuesday. All right. Take care.